start the stream. We're just a few minutes late. It's fine. It happens. It's only a couple minutes. Forgot to unmute my phone after work. That's why that wasn't giving me any audio. Alright, do we have my audio? We do indeed. So, hello people of the internet. It is I, Silverack Dragon here, back with more Fate Grand Order. It's been a little while since we last streamed it, but new event, and that's mainly because I've been tired a lot lately. Just work has been killer, but you know what can help against the tiredness is if you were to subscribe or follow to this channel. Yes, shameless self-promotion, etc, etc. Just remember to subscribe if you enjoy. It would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's jump in to Fate Grand Order, because there's a new event going on. It's been going on for the last day, technically, but I wasn't on yesterday. Or I logged on for the login bonus, but I didn't actually do anything because, well, I like doing all that stuff live on stream. So, before anything, let us go through the various news bits here. The first part is the Chaldea broadcast station was announced, and there was a broadcast station. At the end of it, we got awarded 16 quartz for completing the Singularity F, and this was for a social media campaign, as well as a commemorative present. It should be in the present box. Easy enough, 16 quartz is not bad. Next one is the actual summon info. Yeah, the summon info is next. No, I'm going to do the campaign info first, and then the summon info, I think. Yeah. So, the Great Void Sea Battle Imaginary Scramble to the Surface Nautilus pre-release campaign. This actually did start a few days ago, so I guess I could have read the other one. So this is just a limited event celebration that is going to be going. You have to have completed, it's planned for the end of October, it's already here. You have to have completed the first Lost Belt, and if you've completed up to Part 2, Chapter 4 is relevant for story information. They're distributing various apples over the course of days. Main quest AP half and quartered. Free quest half AP until the first clear, so that's kind of useless for me at this point. Story completion master missions have been added. I'll have to check those. I don't think I actually claimed those, so that'll be nice. Rank up quest added for 3 servants. Abby got the Faithful Prayer changed into Light in the Abyss, which gives her an increase in NP gauge, so self-battery. Yang Guifei, or Yu rather, I should just call her Yu, had the strengthening of favors of 3,000 concentrated to 1, which normally just applies invincibility and gives NP each turn. Also gives a large amount of stars and a target focus for yourself, so that's actually a very good synergy. And XX's Noble Phantasm got a boost to deal significant special attack damage to a single Saber class enemy has been strengthened. And then there was a summoning campaign based around them, as well as Summer Raiko. I don't know why Summer Raiko, but she's there. I guess I should go to said summoning campaign. The pre-release campaign has Imaginary Around and Imaginary Element as on rate up, as well as Saberfran, Lancer Raiko, XX, Yu, and yeah, Yu was the only, really, Yu was the only 5-star. You would think Abby would be there, but I guess she might have just had a banner, so, but yeah. I'm pretty sure I have everybody except for Raiko there, which it's not too big of a deal. And Imaginary Ground and Imaginary Element, which will be used in the next, which will be used in this event. And then it's just the bios for the servants, announcements about their rank ups again. Next bit of news is the actual event going on right now. So the Great Void Sea Battle Imaginary Scramble to the Surface Nautilus began yesterday. This is a story a bit before the 5th Lost Belt. During a void space submersion training session in anticipation of the upcoming battle against Kirshtaria, the Nautilus suddenly runs aground on a mysterious object in uncharted waters. During their attempts to escape from void space, the crew encounters a castaway who has been adrift on the sea of imaginary numbers. I've been waiting for you in the uncharted sea and Rainbow Dream. This is the reverse side of the world, a realm that has never been observed. Simultaneously, the shallowest and deepest pitfall, the closest, furthest underworld in this world. Who would be calling from the bottomless sea of imaginary numbers? So our heroes run into trouble during the void space submarine training on board the Nautilus. Their search for the way out begins in the void sea. Travel several seas on your way home. It takes place after Part 2, Chapter 4, Samsara of Genesis, Terminus, Yugishthira, the Final Dark God, which again is still a mouthful. In addition, this story is by Amphibian, who is the scenario writer for Raging Loop of Kemco, and the author of Kamigiri Village Untold from FGO Mystery novel anthology Chaldea Case Files 02. I have no idea what any of those mean. Or are, rather, I guess. Enjoy this collaboration setting in the strange void space written by the fittingly strange writer. In-game graphics may differ. Certain quests will be unlocked at a later date. This will last until the release of God of War Ragnarok. Very fortuitous, that. You need to have completed the first Lost Belt in order to partake, and it will contain spoils for Chapter 4 of the Lost Belt. Servants' true names are hidden, will remain hidden. Since you're able to achieve 25,000 reactions, you get 6 free quartz. Those will be available. You need to complete Singularity F. There is the trailer online, which is worth watching. And then how to progress in the event. The search for a way out of the Void Sea starts now. Investigate several seas and find a way home. So you clear to collect resources, dazzling fins, scales, and sharp teeth. Scan the map to unlock surveyable areas. Expend resources by clearing event quests. To conduct a Void Sea survey, survey areas become unlocked when you scan them. Will appear as the Void Sea survey continues. Challenge event quests to earn survey points and event items. Collect them to unlock the main quest. Progress to escape to the end of the main quest and escape from Void Sea. New main quest story on certain dates. So the quest schedule is... Currently, I should have up to maybe Act 3, it looks like, available. I should actually probably get up a guide so that I can... Although I don't really have... I mean, I might. It depends on who's on the banner right now. If it's... I'll get to that in a minute. But it depends on who is on the banner right now on if I'm going to roll just yet. There's also idle talks and various free quests. Conduct the sea surveys to unlock quests. We already read through that, essentially. You can find treasures. Areas you've already scanned will be bright. Areas you unscan will be dark. Okay, interesting. It's like Minesweeper, in a way. Search for treasures near ripples. Okay. Look out for enemies' shadows. So we'll need to do it all anyways. Use a call backup to your advantage. During this event, you'll be able to call backup once you've completed a certain quest. When you use call backup, one servant and company will apply a special status effect to your allies or enemies during the battle. Resources will be required to use and then will be expended. That's not... And they're not going to be returned. Yeah, that's not... Unless it's really powerful, that's not worth it, in my humble opinion. Extremely powerful enemies may appear. They might be too powerful to beat on your own irregular battle. If you use call backup, special status effects. Point rewards. So total amount of point survey includes rewards for clearing survey quests, as well as for certain areas. So it's a point ladder event, essentially. And the various hints. Swimsuit servants and male servants with Spiriton dresses will receive an attack strength boost. An event drop bonus, as well as bond bonus. Nice. And here's all of them. The 100% I'm not going to go through just because that's their own banner. But, so all the swimsuits get a 50% damage and a 20% bond point buff. Okay. I don't know why Zhang Yu is getting such a buff. Or base BB. Or Giles. Okay, Giles, actually, considering the whole connotations of this event. I do understand Giles. So yeah, so currently Zhang Yu is a question mark as to why. Because he doesn't have a swimsuit form. Or summer variant, rather. I mean, maybe because Yu is there? I guess that might be why. Still a little weird, but... Yeah, everybody else... makes sense, except for poor Zhang Yu. And then, let's see, +1 to all of them for those. I love how that foreigner gets all the space. They had to fit all 3 of these into one thing, and so they decide to give all the space to one of the servants. Nice. I'm not going to go through who gets what as far as boosts. I will see that when it comes time for team builds. And then the Imaginary Round and Imaginary Element give attack strength bonuses. Okay. And then there is the event Limited Craft Essences. First, Like a Bird, which is available from the shop, it looks like. It features Canis. It is a crit strength by 10, buster by 15, 3 stars each turn, and 100% attack boost. That's actually not a bad CE from what I understand. Event Craft Essences that are permanent. So these are the permanent ones. So Imaginary Round is a 50% attack buff, whereas Imaginary Element is a 30. And command codes that are rewarded from this event. Imperial Consort of the Heavenly Emperor features Yoo-Hoo. Crit strength against enemies with burn by 30%. That's not bad. Vajra that annihilates desire. That is Kama's thing. Increase crit strength by 10 and apply defense. Ignore state for the engraved card. That's actually not bad. And Leviathan, the best of them so far in this event. There's a MASH one, which is the best, but Leviathan. 100 HP for yourself and 1 star when attacking with that engraved card. Nice. And then there is the exchange. I'm not going to go through all this. I'll go through it when I actually hit the shop. Oh, wait, no, there's... Okay, so the dazzling stuff is separate. Okay, I was a little confused. I must have not read that right. So dazzling is separate from the actual event currency. Caster Giles got a rank up quest to change the Aesthetic Appreciation skill to Sacrilegious Appreciation, which just completely changes the skill to decrease NP strength for 1 turn, arts resistance for 1 turn, and buster resistance. Nice. And then Mash's original summer outfit, nope, her second one, has been added to the rear prism shop, does it say? Yeah. I'm glad I already got it. And that's all of that. Next is the summoning campaign, currently going on. So, 2 limited 5-star servants, as well as 4 limited CEs. Okay, this is the schedule. Gosh darn it, no. If I'm reading this correct, it's gonna be... Okay, I need a... When is that gonna be for me? So, Van Gogh. Because Van Gogh is the one I'm going for. On the 2nd. It looks like. 2nd to... This is just not good timing for me. So... Solo Van Gogh rate-up would technically be at reset tonight. Do I really want to make another stream just for that? I might. Because beyond that, it'll be a while. And I don't really want to be too short as far as the resources. So I might do another stream tonight, just rolling for Van Gogh. Not sure just yet. But speaking of, Van Gogh is a 5-star arts-based foreigner with a pretty decent HP stat, kind of lower attack stat. Noble Phantasm inflicts fear to all enemies, increase attack and crit strength for all allies, increase crit strength for all Entity of the Outer Realm allies, and gain crit stars every turn for yourself. So that is a support NP. Support foreigner, not bad, not bad. And then there's also Nemo. He's here. Not to bash Nemo, but he's just not as exciting for me. Especially not since Arcade gets the Grand Rider version of him. But 5-star art-based Rider Servant. Increase MB strength for 1 turn, which increases with overcharge. Increase MB strength only when near water or void space fields. And applies sure hit for 1 hit only when in near water or void space fields for yourself. Plus, deal significant damage to a single supergiant enemy. So it is a damaging NP, single target, really good against super big things. Then there is the CEs themselves. First off, the 5-star Mystery Treasure CE, featuring both Jean and Jelter. Interesting look for Jelter there, I'll say. Increase arts by 8, buster by 8, crit strength by 8, and a 40% starting charge. Next is the Greatest Ocean, that is Blackbeard, Bartholomew, and Columbus. It is an arts by 3, NP by 5, NP charged by 1 level when using the first time. Okay, not bad. And Color Me True, that is Asclepius, Paris, and maybe Media in the background. It's kind of hard with such low resolution. but is a sure hit and MP by 5% your shop. That's not terrible, honestly. Honestly, the sure hit alone makes it pretty decent. Van Gogh. As you can see, I'm Van Gogh, a mysterious foreigner who paints stars in the void sea, forces their way into Chaldea. Vincent van Gogh was a painter active in Europe during the 19th century. His work was highly praised after his death, and even to this day he has many fans worldwide. Obviously, this artist was historically male, given his name, self-portrait, and a few photographs of him. On the other hand, the foreigner who dresses like a young lady and calls herself Van Gogh is drastically different from the man recorded in history, both in appearance and in gender. And yet, her artistic talent is unquestionably Van Gogh's. She's a big eater, jokes around, and chuckles in a gloomy manner while painting pictures all over the place. So, who is this person? And then Nemo. I, Captain Nemo, will not tolerate those who oppress or ridicule others. At long last, Chaldea's guardian god of the sea arrives. Triton the merman, who was raised and loved by the god of the sea, and the Prince Drakkar, the character in the novel 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or at least the man he was probably based on. The combination of these two creates the Nemo we have here. Although Phantom Spirits have only existed in Pseudo-Singularity Shinjuku so far, an alchemist from Atlas named Sion managed to extract the data and summon this special servant as a Phantom Spirit. In Novum Chaldea, Nemo dispatches and supports the units deployed in field operations. Operations on land fall under the jurisdiction of Da Vinci, while maritime operations are under Captain Nemo's authority. So it may not be an exaggeration to say that these two are rivals in that sense as well. And you can check out their Noble Phantasms on YouTube, or you can roll for them and get them yourself, or I might get Van Gogh later tonight. Who knows? And then the final bit here is just that the event is currently ongoing, which we've kind of already gone through all of this. Yeah, so nothing new. It's essentially just saying the event is ongoing rather than it will happen. So, login bonus for community login, special login for the pre-release, and Scotty was used the most with just 25 friend points. I definitely need to set my friend support up, but first, let's do some claiming. So first, the limited time main quest completions. We can receive all 4 of them, getting us 15 foes and 10 sync quartz. Receive! And then we've only completed 2 master missions recently, just because I'm kind of lazy. Alright, so let's actually claim our box because it is full to bursting. Arrowheads of Malice, we get 16. Login. Twitter, Facebook, broadcast, login. Halloween login. Login, and then there's the various roulette bits, which I'm not going to claim those right now, maybe later towards the end of stream when I'm going to be doing some level ups here. So, first things first, what is new in the shop? Nothing should be new in the shop for me. Yeah, nothing is new in the shop for me because I already... It's going to keep popping up as new, though, until I find it and probably click on it, I imagine. Yeah, because I already have it. It's going to just keep showing up as new until it refreshes, I imagine. So, just going to really quick check to confirm. It is Nemo on rate up, not Van Gogh. Yep, it is indeed Nemo on rate up right now and not Van Gogh. So I will not be rolling just yet. Probably will have to do a special roll stream tonight then. Beyond all that, I think there is no more really to stall. Not that I've really been stalling, so let us jump into the opening act, the submerged voyage deep and far of the Imaginary Scramble. Going under the sea. Under the sea. That was a pretty nice little beat. I liked it a little bit. Alrighty. Ready to read. void. Deeper, deeper, further, further. Those are the only thoughts that have occupied my mind up to this point. This is the reverse side of the target world, a completely opaque domain, impossible to observe. It is the deepest and most shallow trap to ever exist. It is both the closest afterworld and the furthest. However, it is not my duty to invade the target world, nor to commence war for its observation. No, my duty is merely to call for them, and to remain myself. The conditions have all been met. Next, I will shut down my consciousness and transfer all of my authority to myself. Goodbye. Weird. I will shut down my consciousness and transfer all my authority to myself. I'm adrift. I've been drifting here forever. It's lonely drifting all alone, so I think I'll call for them. Yes, call out their names. Deeper, deeper, further, further. I will wait at the unknowable sea within the rainbow dream. Senpai, senpai. You've been sitting in the hall staring into space for a few minutes now. Is everything okay? Do you have a stomachache? Is the stress of tomorrow's special mission wreaking havoc on your insides? Maybe I must have been daydreaming. It happens for me. Are you sure? Well, that's a relief. Since we enhanced Captain Nemo's spirit origin in India, he can keep up his noble phantasm, Nautilus, the ultimate submarine, in reality indefinitely. And a good thing, too, since the ship that can cross the ancient Sea of Gods will be absolutely crucial for the Atlantic Lost Belt mission we'll be undertaking next. However, while we do need to put Captain's ship through its paces to make sure it's all ready for the upcoming voyage, there is also a lot of other essential gear and equipment we still have to procure. So since the rest of Caldea's staff will be working on that, Captain, you, me, and a few servants will be taking that all out for a test run by ourselves. But don't relax just because it's a test run. It's going to be an intense training exercise covering many scenarios, including a void space dive. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if you were feeling nervous about it, especially since we'll be conducting the exercise without many of our usual crew on the bridge. Always up for a boat trip with you, Mash. Always. Right, to tell you the truth, I'm excited about it too. The idea of sailing the void sea is a little nerve-wracking. But if it means getting to be on the crew of Captain Nemo's famous Nautilus, I'm more than happy to do so. Oh, speaking of which, have you heard which servants have been selected to go with us yet? Nope! Not a clue. Well, I'm told the final decision was to bring Osaka Hime, Scotty, and Zhang Yu. That's why Zhang Yu's... Okay, that makes sense. I kind of didn't pay attention to the fact that Scotty was on that list. Gonna be a hell of a team, that's for certain. Some of them are relatively new additions, so I admit I'm a little concerned about how well they'll be able to work together. I take the fact that there's 3 of them means... Yes, that's right. Abby did make it to the final round, but Sion ultimately decided she wouldn't be a good fit. Trismegistus' 2 suggestions this time were basically incomprehensible, though, so they were difficult to interpret. Still, Da Vinci said the data made it clear that this mission would just be too much for Abby, and she wouldn't be a good fit for the kind of battles we're likely to face. Sion couldn't argue with that, so she agreed to take Abby off the roster, especially since doing so would help conserve magical energy. It's too bad Abby was so disappointed when they told her she couldn't go. Yeah, we'll have to bring some pancakes to Abby. Anyway, Sion said she was going to pull an all-nighter so she could search all Trismegistus 2 for entropy. But if you're ready to call it a day, Senpai, you're more than welcome to turn in. As long as you're with me, Mesh. Oh, somebody's staring at me. Speak of the devil in the show here. Hello there, little young lady. Having some trouble sleeping? No, sir, I really am not a girl. I understand being taken off the mission, since it sounds like it would just be too much for me. But I still can't help but want to ride that big metal ship with you. I do think the first one, just because you don't make promises you might not be able to keep. Really? Do you mean it? Sure. That's wonderful, but I still won't be able to see you for so long, and I'm really gonna miss you. Yeah, she is kind of anxious, isn't she? Wait, visit Master and Abigail. What are you two doing up this late? Oi! What are you... Oh, hey! I'm glad other people call her Oi. What are you doing here? Well, you know how Master's setting off on that big old metal whale tomorrow, right? So I thought I'd paint him a treasure ship for good luck. But I sure didn't think I'd find a fellow foreigner looking so blue. Say, how about you paint with me? Me? But I couldn't. I'm just a child and you're famous... Don't you worry about that. Ain't nothing quite like a picture painted by a kiddo. Besides, collaborations can be a blast too. Now get your pastels and let's make some art. That does sound like fun. Are you sure? Can I, Master? A treasure ship, huh? This would let me make a good luck charm for you, Master. Hey, Master. Sorry to ask you right before your big practice voyage, but do you think you could stay up with us for a while? You really are good with kids, aren't you, Oi? Well, that's a load off my shoulders hearing you say that, but hey, it's no biggie. Me and Toto-sama are just big old kids at heart anyway. Besides, this foreigner class we are is on a whole nother level, right? I mean, we're supposed to be a threat to all humanity, right? So if one of us foreigners is in a bind, best thing we can do is help each other out. Anyway, now that that's settled, let's get going. Oh, and if you get bored, you can always take a gander at the picture scroll I painted myself. Or the ones you made. Interesting, I look forward. I forgot to set up my support setup, but I'll have to do that later. Because the support needs to be properly set. And we're running. We were almost late. Morning, Soul. Looks like you're right on time. Whew. Well, technically you're late by 0.008 seconds, but I'll be nice to let that slide. Now go on, get aboard. Cutting awfully close, aren't we, Soul? Did you even make time for breakfast this morning? Really now, any master worth their salt would have arrived at least 10 minutes ahead of schedule. Seems that means you've got a ways to go before you can call yourself a fully fledged master. Remember, you should be graceful and diligent in all matters. Gordoff, dude, come on, man. Come on. That's all well and good, Gordoff, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw you at the dock over an hour before departure. Nearly arriving late may be bad, but is it not also a problem to be too early? Excuse me, you saw me here, Sion. I mean, I was just taking a walk, that's all. Yes, that's it. A little constitutional. It certainly had nothing to do with any concerns I have regarding the successful completion of the Nautilus's test run. Nope. Anyway, listen well, Soul. The success of this test run will be the clearest indicator of whether we are actually able to infiltrate the Atlantic Lost Belt. It is therefore imperative that you not let yourself be distracted by thoughts like, oh boy, this new Nautilus is so much fun to ride on, or man, submarines are so cool. And that you maintain your focus at all times to ensure the mission's success. You certainly haven't made it this far by neglecting your responsibilities, correct? Then you must continue in that responsibility vein, which includes being punctual, until you've made it back safely. And that's all. Sir, yes, sir! Thank you for that masterful display of leadership, Gordoff. I especially appreciate your knack for brevity. If you had gone on any longer, I would have had to remind you that further remarks, inspiring though they may be, would only end up delaying the operation's commencement. But it seems I needn't worry about that today. Haven't I already told you I've had enough of your mean-spirited interjections? I may be a devout oligarch, but I'm a staunch pacifist. The fact that you're all exchanging such witty banter this early in the morning just goes to show what seasoned veterans you Chaldeans truly are. If you're able to be so jocular under these circumstances, then it seems clear you do not need any advice from me. Yeah, we haven't known each other all that long, but we've still managed to overcome all sorts of hardships together. I see. So you shared the good times and the hard times alike. I suppose that is what comes from being stuck in the same boat. Pun intended. But of course, that is also exactly why this training exercise is necessary. After all, as newcomers, neither Captain nor myself are at a point where we can joke with all of you as you are able to with another. This trial run is an important mission to test the Nautilus's performance and limitations. But its secondary purpose is for Soul and the Captain to get to know and trust each other better. It is my hope that they will end up just as strong a relationship as all of you, if not more so. Well, if nothing else, I can tell you there's at least one AD among our crew who already trusts Captain more than the rest of us. At any rate, Captain may be reticent, cold, and more likely to oil his gun than join in conversation. But given that he and Soul will be working together to test the Nautilus's top speed and cornering capabilities, they simply won't be able to avoid becoming better friends. Trust me, I went through the same thing with my navigator back at the Safari Rally. He did end up canceling on me at the last minute, though. I never did find out why. Probably because you're a madman driver, dude. Well, it seems to me like Soul's already pretty fond of Captain, so I'm sure the training exercise will go great. Although you don't find him off-putting, Soul, I guess you really are a seasoned veteran master. I must say I'm a little jealous. Let's not forget, Captain is still my servant. Well, I'm surprised to hear you of all people admit to jealousy, Miss Sion. I do hope all-nighter you pulled wasn't too arduous. Oh no, I don't mind working all night. I'm just a little concerned about the choice of servant companions. I simply cannot figure out why Trismegistus II decided that they were the best fit for this mission. Just to be sure, you're quite certain we can trust the machine's analysis. Oh, I'm not worried about that. I don't have to understand the equation to have faith in the results. Understanding is very important, though. Understanding is very important. Besides, if we were after Majesticus II to write up its reasoning in a report, it would take us over a half a year simply to decipher it. So no, my concerns are not about Majesticus II, but about the environment in which such servants will be necessary. For example, what sort of environment would lead to Abigail Williams being a recommended addition to the crew? Was removing her from the roster ultimately the correct choice? Those are the sorts of things I'm worried about. I see your point, but since we can only afford to have 3 servants come along, including her really wasn't an option. Anyway, we should probably start getting ready for the next operation. It'll be a little while until we're done, so spend this time as you see fit. Meanwhile, we get to go on a boat. Or a submarine. Alright, I think I've said everything I want to say for you. Now, you're lucky we only have so much time until launch. I'm sorry. I'll be more careful. It's harsh scolding. I understand that. As a master, caring for the younger servants is an important part of your duties. But that's no excuse for tardiness. In this mission we're to undertake, punctuality is one of the most important. There's no way to save a sailor who's missed the boat, after all. So while you're on my ship, make damn sure you're on time for everything from now on. Is that clear? Oh, Captain, my Captain. My Captain. Never mind, just get to your post, Acting Commander. Yeah, still an hour early, dude. Consider it a little payback. Okay, Mash, stop clinging to Soul like Grimoire and get to your post. Grimoire. I'm sorry, Captain, I was just reflecting my failure to ensure Master got enough rest last night. I won't have again, but I like her clinging to me. How about the other passengers? Are you all ready to set sail? I am, as I have no authority over the sea. I'm happy to follow this child sea god's instructions. Indeed, I'm looking forward to be treated just as another passenger. No, I'm not ready, but if Machan wants me here, then I'm going to do my princessy best to be my usual Hiko self, even in a submarine. Nervous, Zhang Yu? Doubtful. No, I'm still operating within standard parameters. I was simply thinking about my beloved and how she thrashed about on the floor in a tantrum when our fervent requests to accompany on this mission were denied. Oh, you senpai. Oh, that's hilarious. That's good. Yeah, that definitely was a thing, wasn't it? Rest assured that I am perfectly able to carry out my primary directive, Master. Captain, I suggest we embark on the voyage without further delay. Excellent, let's get going. This is the Assault Submarine Nautilus. Sion, report your final assessment of the shell's pressure resistance. This is Sion at Novum Chaldea. The hull is in perfect shape, of course. So, how are you feeling now, Captain? Would you say that my promise to provide a ship worthy of you has been fulfilled? Yeah, it has. Thank you. Sion of Novum Chaldea. Excuse me. I've not a single complaint about this ship. It's got the same amount of tension as a right whale's whiskers, perfectly balanced. And so I believe we're ready to set sail. That is all. Whew, it's good to see you in high spirits, Captain. I am also very glad I was able to finally keep my promise. Alright then, I wish you an excellent maiden voyage. Don't worry about anything here while you're gone. I have your room locked up as tight as a clam. So, I'm counting on you to take care of Captain for me while you're out in the void space. While we may be unable to provide support this time, we will be rooting for you to have an experience that is truly out of this world. I'll do my best. Open the vents. Commence standard dive. I wonder if I'm, like, doing part of the controls and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, that was the first part. Section 2 is a combat portion. And actually, before I actually do anything further, I think I'm going to set up my support because... Oops. I kind of completely forgot that that should be a little bit different. So... Party assign... So... primary support, event support, support 3, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so... Okay, I think this is how it works. I'm not exactly sure how this works. I'm honestly going to have to look up a guide for this. I'm surprised that I have waiver as in there, so... And then we'll go ahead and... This is just a test of this part. I'll go ahead and do event stuff next, but... Okay, so that should be how it works, and you can change CEs around. Alright, good to know, good to know. So, we want to go by event bonus, and we'll start with the saber slot. So that's going to be... And we also want event bonus here, remove that. Can I just reset this? I can't. Not easily, at least. Squirtoria. And, of course, primary in here is going to be Lambda, because she is my strongest Lancer available here. Rider slot will be Malter. I think Scott is a good choice there. Assassin slot is looking like it's going to be Skaha. Yeah, because nobody else is leveled here, unfortunately. Zerker will be Zhang Yu. Extra class, we will go ahead and throw Summer Abbey. The all filter will be have a Mash. Mashu. There is Mashu. Alright, so this will be the primary support setup. We'll go ahead and give Mash Imaginary around, I guess. Okay. And then... Okay, so this one... So this is event, so... Then this one here will have... Oi. Helena. Tama. Mo. Merlin. Okita Jet. Do I already have... Did I have Zhang Yu here? In the support? I do. So it'll have to be... Not Zhang Yu, but... Zhalter. And then we will go ahead and have... BB. And... Let's throw base Abby here. And this will be set to... Of them all... None of them are really too quick focused. Let's remove that though. No, you're not going to be a normal setup, so there we go. I think on Scotty, I'm going to really quickly throw a Bond CE. Dinner time. Okay, so this is actually a lot easier than I thought. I'm not going to do much more than this one. And then tea time. Yeah, so I'll set this support here, and then I'll do one third one later, but this will be good for now. Alright. And then back to the event. So I can at least start scraping things in. It'll take me to get CEs to, actually start pulling things in, but that'll happen later tonight. So, a formation restricted quest. It is a Archer Caster node with Zhang Yu, Osaka Behime, and Scotty as my supports / only servants. They all have the 3-star CE, which, can I get a zoom in of it now? I can. Is that Media in the background? Come on. It looks like it might be. Alright, let's start. I can just look up I'll look up the CEC. I'm going to check the CE. Just going to check, just to see if I was right with my initial guess. my elbow. So, summoning campaign. Color me true. Paris, Asclepius, and Orion. Is that supposed to be Artemis in the background? Okay. I guess it can be... Okay, it's actually a strong node. That's a bit of a shock for straight off the bat here. People aren't fully skilled up here. Or at least Scotty isn't, but that's kind of just like my normal Scotty. Okay, doot. So this actually does have a fairly decent risk here. Let's do this. Get some further defense for her. And then Zhang Yu focus down a door. Good crit. Good. Feel like I just barely got that. Doot. Hopefully is enough to wipe this door. Not gonna happen. But Zhang Yu does have NP, so that'll be useful for clearing whatever the next wave ends up being. Provided it's not like a break bar or anything, I guess. Which I'm kind of doubtful that they'd throw one at us. It would also be an archer, now that I'm thinking of it. Hard hitting. Okay. Good crit. There goes Osaka Behime. And we can wipe this wave easily enough. Poor Osaka Behime. She really wasn't too suited for this quest. Auto Defense Unit Mark II. And we got a Zhang Yu Brave Chain here. Will it be enough? Is the question. I think it's over enough. Berserkers, man. They're gonna berserk. That was kind of redundant to say, but... Alrighty. It is definitely a quick focus party now that you think about it. Damn, no wonder Zhang Yu used to be the hegemon king of Western Chu. With me and the goddess backing up his OPNP, I don't think anyone can touch him. Between the goddess buffing him with her powerful rune magecraft and me filling in the gaps, I'd say we've got a killer team comp. I'm not so sure. Such a diverse makeup can easily lead to him becoming a proverbial jack of all trades, master of none. Is there anything you can do to improve your noble phantasm's turnover rate, Osaka? As a berserker, Zhang Yu requires precision support to keep fighting at his peak, so I expect you'll need to vary your approach in battle until you find out what works. Harsh, direct, and accurate constructive criticism. Okay, I will do my gun best. So, Lord Zhang Yu, how did you like my NP? If you like, I would be more than happy to let you and your beloved tour Hijime Castle sometimes. If we have reached the end of our training exercise, I would like to request a 10-minute break. Perhaps you did not care for your calling hegemon, King Osakabe. Also, your castle defense and used noble phantasm are a poor match. Really, they do not fit together at all. No, my plan to ingratiate myself with him. Yeah, there's something off about him today. Do you think so? Truth be told, I still have trouble making sense of the expressions of a metal man. Well, if you say so, Ma-chan, you're probably right. While Shang-Yu is clearly a cut above most berserkers, I nonetheless cannot tell what he truly thinks, as I never encountered him like in Scandinavia. I will therefore be relying on your judgment even more than usual, Soul. Anyway, guess we may as well take a break too. Plus, when we're done, it'll be the perfect time for an incident. True. Great job, Master. I saw the whole simulation from here in the cockpit, and everyone's teamwork is impeccable. Now just wait and relax. R&R. Alright, the next phase will require even more caution than usual. We're going to simulate encountering an unexpected hostile marine force during a shallow water dive and practice making an emergency dive into void space to evade it. What's more, we'll be doing so entirely on our own. At this point, everyone back at the Wandering Sea Chaldea base is still able to observe us, but once we make it to the dive in the void space, we'll be completely cut off from them. It's a little nerve-wracking, but I know we'll do our best to handle anything that comes our way. On that note, I think I'll go over the navigation manual again, just to be sure. Please, go ahead and relax, Senpai. Take a bit of a breather. He's fiddling with some instruments. Okay, interesting. And he's gone. And he's back. He's bringing in a big wooden crate. Somebody's gonna be in that crate, isn't it? He left the crate here. There's somebody. Servant is totally inside there. There is totally a servant inside. Inkstone and a brush. And he's scribbling on the... Oh, there's actually some writing on the wall. What's going on? Master, I recommend you do not interfere. As you can see, even 4 hands are not enough to handle everything that must be done. I'm not going to stop you, but what are you doing? Unfortunately, I have neither time nor the processing power to explain at the moment. I don't like the sound of that, but okay, dude. Thank you, Master. Now, if you will excuse me. And just like that, he's gone. I wonder what those scribbles, or symbols he wrote on the wall mean. Well, knowing Shang-Yu, I'm sure has something to do with his prognosticative abilities. His actions may seem bizarre now, but in time we'll find out there were good reasons for them, right? Doesn't make it any less baffling, though. What's wrong with that berserker? The moment I take my eyes off him, he's scurrying around like some kind of oversized spider crab, messing up my ship. If we weren't about to undertake an operation, I'd have him swabbing the deck all day. Yeah, let him do what he needs to do, Cap. I'm sorry, I'm usually much better at keeping my cool than that. Don't worry, I always make sure I know who my passengers are before they board. I understand that Shang-Yu is actually much more intelligent than he looks, I do, but... having a berserker walking around doing whatever he pleases in my delicate ship really gets on my nerves. And I mean that in a literal sense, since this Nautilus actually is a part of me. Just keep that in mind, if you would. I will, don't worry about it, but it's about time, so that's probably like, don't bang up the ship, it's gonna hurt me. So it is, then let's get this emergency underway. Trading alert, silence on the line. Hostile marine forces detected at 090. All sensors detect an A-class combat threat. Commencing emergency zero-sail evasive maneuver. I repeat, commencing emergency zero-sail evasive maneuver. We expect to emerge from void space in 12 hours. Do you read me, Novum Chaldea? This is Sion at Novum Chaldea, reading you loud and clear. Good luck, Nautilus. End transmission. Nautilus personnel, get to your emergency stations to prepare for a zero-sail. All compartments brace for turbulence. You got a boss, expanding Nautilus, pressure hull, shock, wave resistance theory, removing existence verification from reality space. Time to go floating together. Yeah, it's kind of weird for Da Vinci not to. Here we go, Nautilus. Go ahead, void space dive, zero sail, unfurl. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop during this, and something's gonna, like, interrupt us. Just based on the event description. Looks like the Zero sale went off without a hitch. I'm especially glad Nemo's in good shape. Me too, the fact that you're not there to provide upward compatible computational services you usually do has made him about 30% more fired up than usual. That is, captain for you. He has his own ways of handling your responsibility. How about you? Think you'll be joining the next boarding exercise? No, I have my hands full taking care of Trismegistius too. That said, once this is all over, I would love to go on a little boating trip. But I would want to go before the bleacher phenomenon is resolved, since that would be truly going where no human has gone before. Oh, an adventure with none other than Captain Nemo himself sounds truly delightful. Would you perchance have need for a great detective among your crew, Monsieur? Don't you dare! This is a matter solely between master and servant. Our only place is to send them off with a smile. Where'd this foreigner come from? And why does she look like the one I saw during the streetest Hawaii vacation of my life? So given that this event is canon, that means that the third summer event is canon. Me? I canceled a sidekick. I mean, personal matter to answer Master Summons. But since now it looks like I won't be needed at all, I plan to draw my stars by spending this vacation diving into the sea underneath the dock. Huh? Why aren't the resident geniuses doing anything? Don't tell me I'm the only one who has to point out the ridiculousness of this so-called plan. Well, Miss XX there is something of a special case. Let's see, how can I put it? It's like she's her own contextual singularity, impossible to analyze with anything approaching seriousness. Even attempting to do so just instantly dissolves into a farce. Agreed on all accounts, Commander. Plus, as a foreigner, thinking things like logic and reason have little hold on her. I see, now I understand. No longer cares. Well, just be clear, Captain is not subservient to me. He and I are equals. Oh, really? Because I thought I heard you say you were jealous of Sol for getting along with him so well. Only in the sense that I wish Captain and I could have a traditional master and servant relationship. To be honest, I didn't summon him to form a contract with him, so much as let the phantom ship of Nemo materialize. So if Captain has decided that Chaldeans are worth entrusting with the fate of humanity, then I'm not at all surprised that he has also decided to switch teams, so to speak. All that aside, what is it you're doing here anyway? You do know there's no space-time distorting singularity active here. Do you not? Come on, Sion, that's not fair. You make it sound like I never show up unless there's a singularity to be solved. No, I'm just here for the same reason I always am, because I sense it'll be my turn soon. Hey, Sion, just to make absolutely sure, you are certain there's nothing off about this mission, right? Well... what are you so concerned about, Da Vinci? All the conditions for this test run were perfect. Everything from the passenger status verification to the cargo transport went off without a hitch. Then all this is in excellent condition, and Sol's crew is sailing into the void sea, a place so dreadfully dull that the very concept of an incident taking place there is utterly unthinkable. Now that our technology for navigating is stable, I dare say there's no safer course in all of creation. In fact, I'll go so far as to say this training exercise is completely safe in every regard. Yeah, exactly, I could tell as much just from the dashing figure Sol cut as he headed off on the mission. Trust me, every bone in this space cop's body is telling me this test run's gonna go perfectly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off for some solo diving. Be back by dinner. Well, I don't wish to split hairs, especially given how cautious you've all been this far. Perhaps it wouldn't be hurt to try to make double extra sure, just in case. I admit I do feel a black cat just crossed my path as I shattered a mirror while walking under a ladder, but... Well, I too am loath to say this, I admit I would be also quite illogical to ignore the quite unintentional warning of a heroic spirit who was inscribed to the throne for her intuition alone. Oops, sorry about that. Trismegistius 2 just finished up the analysis. I'll admit the timing is... guys, Holmes especially, you may want to sit down for this. Oh, please enlighten us, Miss Sion. What did our beloved Spiriton calculation engine have to say? It would seem this is all a dream. I'm dreaming. I'm not actually dreaming. Mash didn't pop up right next to me. Nor did Mount or Arash or XA. Or Shelter. Alright, so we got our first color on me, True CEs. Surrounded by sunflowers under the autumn sun, today is the perfect day for painting. Spreading colors that are your own onto the bright white canvas. Woohoo! Okay, so this must be the Void Sea map. It's not that big, actually. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. So we're on the Nautilus. Act 1, The Unknowable Reef. Part 1 of 2. In this quest, you'll form your party immediately before the battle begins. Let us begin, then! Excuse me. Looks like the dive was a success. Of course it was. I'm not about to let Da Vinci outdo me at steering my own ship. Now, as promised, it's time to have some fun. Great, I'll go ahead and switch gears. Today, at 13:30, the Nautilus encountered a hostile force who proceeded to overtake evasive action in the form of a 0-0, thereby losing contact with Chaldea. Therefore, in accordance with the procedure for a Code 4 incident, the Nautilus is now operating independently. During this time of emergency, Master Soul will serve as acting commander, and I, Mesh Carlite, will serve as his acting vice commander. In accordance with these regulations, we have assumed command of the Nautilus. Any objections, Nemo? This is Nemo as captain of this vessel. I approve of the change in command. You're now officially the commander, Soul. I'm the commander now. That said, the ship's captain always retains sole authority over the ship's operations. If a captain were to order someone to get off their ship, that person would have to obey, even if they were the admiral of that ship's entire fleet. So I'll certainly respect your orders as much as possible. I'm also going to do everything I can to keep my ship safe. Is that clear? If you issue too many strange or pointless orders, you're going to see me very, very angry. I'll do my best! Don't want to see Nemo angry, considering what he is a candidate for. Don't worry, as long as you do your job right, I'll play along as obediently as a coralfish. Now, moving on, this is going to sever my link to the Wandering Sea for a while, just like we planned. That means I'm also going to lose my connection to Sion, effectively making me a rogue servant. I should be able to stick around longer than an average servant thanks to my direct link to the ship's magical reactor, but I'll still be at risk of disappearing if I run out of magical energy. So if something happens to me, it'll be your responsibility to get everyone back to the surface. Reality space, that is. So, since we already agreed on this and everything, I guess we should form a temporary contract. All for the mission! That was pretty different than it was with Sion. It almost feels like I got a fish hook stuck in my gullet. That's a scripter. Anyway, this makes us officially master and servant, though only temporarily. Maybe this would be a good time to properly introduce you to all of us. Then again, you met everyone at the launch ceremony, so we can skip that if you like. Would you like to be introduced to the Nemo series? You can skip this if you've already... No, let's get introduced! Introduce us! Got it, okay, everyone gather around. This will also be a good time to introduce all the passengers. It really is a breathtaking number of people, isn't it, Senpai? Well, well, well. Now I Waka understand. Let me introduce you to everyone again. This here crew is the very lifeblood of the Nautilus. I call them the Nemo series. Let's start with the Nemo Marines. They steer the ship and man the radar for this voyage. I've got 12 of them in the constant rotation. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's 13! Hi, everyone. Hi, Master. We're doing our very best, so please don't be mad if we mess up. Hi, Nemo. Next, we've got Nemo Nurse. She runs the medical bay, and she's an old hand when it comes to treating injuries. Hello, I'm both a nurse and a doctor, and I sincerely hope I won't be needed at all. But if I am, rest assured that my medicine skills are ranked A, so please do not hesitate to come see me should you get hurt. It'll be good to know I'm in good hands. Next, we'd usually have Nemo Baker, but she won't be joining us for this mission since the border doesn't have enough space for a full kitchen. No, Baker! But don't worry, Master, to make up for that, she freeze-dried and vacuum packed some yummy meals in case you get hungry. Yay! We've also got a nice selection of drinks if you care for one, and if any of you adult servants would care for a cocktail, just let me know and I'll make you one. I'll help you. Next, we have a Nemo Professor, the most eccentric of the bunch. Even I don't understand how she can be so laid back all the time, but I've given her as much of my brain power as I can afford to allocate. She'll have numerous important roles to fulfill during this exercise, including research and strategy development. Yes, hello, I'm Nemo Professor, the one who's so laid back as to apparently not merit a particularly enthusiastic introduction. You actually already heard me on the PA system earlier, so feel free to say hi if you see me around. I don't mind a little elbow rubbing either. I'm manning the computer room on this mission, but I'm not as good at steering the ship as Da Vinci, so Don't expect me to pull off any crazy maneuvers or anything. Got it. Just that smile. And finally, we got Nemo Engineer. She's in charge of the engine room, which is almost literally the beating heart of the ship. She has as many responsibilities on the ship as I do, so you can think of her as a shadow captain of sorts. Be careful about giving any orders that'll strain the ship. That'll make Engineer angry, and you wouldn't like her when she's angry. The hell are you talking about, Cap Bastard? Here, I'll make it real simple. Overloading my ship is evil. Let me give you a word of warning too, Temporary Master. The only way you and your pals are going to get to enjoy your fancy-schmancy boat trip is if the engine's running smooth as butter. Also, it gets crazy hot in the engine room, so don't forget to send down water or some ice cream that won't melt too quickly onto the regular. Remember, you piss me off and the Nautilus is done for. Yeah, you've proven that engineers are pretty gross. I see. Well, yeah, I guess I am pretty cool. Well, me and engineers in general. You're kind of a weirdo, aren't you, Temporary Master? Jerusalem's appetite for adventure is a little bigger than I was expecting. Anyway, between the 12 Marines, Engineer, Professor, Nurse, and me, we have 16 crew members altogether. And that's the Nemo series lineup, who will be manning the ship for our training exercise today. They're the heart, brains, and blood of the Nautilus, keeping it running smoothly at all hours of the day. The better you can get along with them, the more homey this ship will be. Can't wait to get to know you all better. Woo! Okay, dismissed. All hands return to your stations. Hey, Captain. Those seals aren't familiar or anything like that, right? Given how you just talked about them, I'm guessing they're clones. Did you partition your mind and give one partition to each individual personality or something? I can't go into the details too much since I'm using Sion's patent technique, but you're essentially correct. Technically speaking, they're all still me. I just divided the work involved in running the ship among them to avoid confusion and ensure there'd always be enough hands to go around. Of course, they all have their own distinct personalities, since that's the bare minimum required for them to act autonomously. Well, except for the Marines, they all have basically the same personality. You can think of them as one person sharing 12 bodies. I also gave each of the series their own private memory space, so we really are equals in true sense of the word. The only hierarchy we hear is the one required for any command to function. Wow, yeah, I know you're not making a big deal out of that, but man, that Atlas Institute, it really is Sugoi. I tried something similar with my origami once, but I broke my brain pretty much right away. Anyway, now that the formalities are out of the way, it's time to get to work. Your first job as acting commander will be to see each part of the Nautilus in action for yourself. After that, I put together a training program for you that will brief you on the process of emerging into the reality space. Finally, you'll practice undersea warfare in the simulator. I'll be joining you for that part. I know it's a lot to get through, but once you do, there will be a delicious dinner awaiting you. I'll do my best. I am kind of peckish for dinner, though. Just what I like to hear. Alright, no time like the present, too. Report, what's going on? You rang? Huh? There's an alarm going off. Sorry about that. I was just taking a break since we can't use sonar in void space, so it wasn't me. Maybe the professor did it? Professor? Nope, it wasn't me either. I'm guessing it might have been the bridge. Maybe you should check on the admin console there. That's weird. The sonar we use in reality space is active. Hold up. Did you just say sonar as in echolocation? I'm a resident expert, but that doesn't that mean? Yep, the alarm is telling us we're about to run aground. Yeah, I knew it. Come on, Captain. What are you waiting for? Don't we gotta be all evasive starboard or something? It's okay, Osaka Behime. We're in void space, remember? There is no ground here. I've never been able to wrap my head around this meta-magecraft stuff, especially when it comes to void and reality space. Unlike my Norse mythology's dualistic worldview, other religions tend to think of the early stages of existence as primordial chaos. They saw it as a writhing, seething mass of everything in the world all mixed together. Land, water, heat, cold, good, evil, and so on, thereby harboring limitless possibilities. In one sense, void space is similar, in that it too possesses untold possibilities. But unlike the primordial chaos, which accomplishes this by mixing everything together all at once, I believe void space does so by being unobservable. That is to say, this is the reverse side of the world, a completely opaque domain where not even established laws of physics can be glimpsed. As a result, there is no possibility here that cannot be assumed to exist in some form. Yeah, why are we able to see outside the window right now if it's unobservable? An insightful question. To tell the truth is, we're not actually seeing this rainbow-colored vortex, at least in the true sense of the word. Under normal circumstances, the reality we belong to and the void in this domain cannot interact. While we were able to see the void thanks to the Zero Seal's engineering, it cannot overcome the insurmountable gap that still lies between us. Thus our senses are only able to experience false impressions of the void, making this rainbow sight no more than a hallucination. As a matter of fact, you and I are not even seeing the same rainbow when we look out the window. Conversely, if there were any beings called Void Space Home, they would no doubt be unable to observe our world as it truly is either. So long as this insurmountable gap exists, the reality space and void space will be fundamentally incompatible and unable to interact with each other. Yeah, should we be worried about that alarm? Because I actually understood that. Very well, my people, listen closely. According to the god's explanation, it's impossible for us to see or touch anything that belongs to the unobservable domain. Therefore, it should also be impossible for us to detect any manner of obstacle here, let alone be obstructed by anyone in any real sense. I believe our captain here has already said as much. Yeah, that's right. While there are technically some shockwaves on the mirror world plane of existence that could theoretically be obstructions, we already calculated a way around them. So I'm guessing this alarm is just some kind of glitch caused by Berserker messing with things he shouldn't. Come to think of it, Zhang Yu wasn't around for the Nemo series introduction either. I swear, what could he be thinking? You wish to see me, Captain? You're actually here, Zhang Yu. I apologize for my absence and for insufficient explanation I'm about to give you. Everyone, cover your ears. My ears. What's he up to this time? Are you alright, senpai? You can only see their mouths moving. Now Zhang Yu's taking the bundle of bamboo he's holding. No, wait, it's a brush and he's drawing something with incredible speed all while continuing to shout at the top of his lungs. There is nothing more I can do. Here, master, take this. Okay. As my body will be quite unsuited for this upcoming battle, I opted to take numerous advanced measures to prepare for it. My apologies once again for doing so with neither permission nor explanation. I implore you to hit the brakes and open the box. In the meantime, I will sleep until I am needed once again, so that I may better conserve energy. Good luck, master. I'm not sure I recall Zhang Yu ever saying anything like good luck before, senpai. Acting Vice Commander, Captain, let's stop the ship. Were you not listening earlier? There's no obstacles in void space. None. Everyone of the Nemo series agrees this is just an equipment malfunction. The only thing we're worried about is you letting that berserker jerk you around. Even so, please stop the ship. Alright, but only because you're the commander. Engine room, full reverse. Emergency stop. An emergency stop when there ain't a damn thing in the way. Fine, fine. Triton wheel reverse. Roger that. It's going to be a little bumpy, so you might want to hang on to the... Oh, now what? The captain, is stopping a submarine usually this violent? I don't know how, but we've run aground. Hang in there, everyone. Nemo series damage support ASAP. Engine room here. The impact knocked a few of us out. Damn it. What idiot put a reef in the void space? Infirmary here. All my equipment is still working fine, so let me know if any casualties. Observation room here. We've got a huge crack in the outer shell. We're taking on what? Rainbows? Or what? Computer room here. Things aren't looking great. Whatever we has pierced the hull and lodged itself inside. So I'm trapped under some equipment that got knocked over. What? Wait, how is the void flooding in here? That shouldn't be possible. Impossible. Then our observation of the void is converging. Professor, what's going to happen if we do something about to stop the flood? Give it to me as simple as you can. Simply, we'll all be wiped out. Out, 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 out. Abandon lower compartments. 4 through 6. All hands, I want all bulkheads to abandoned compartments welded shut. Work in observation disrupting battlefield as soon as we're done. What about Professor and that Marine? I can always clone them again. I might have to deal with some mental damage from the fear and pain they'll experience, but... By my command spell. Here, now. Whoa, I'm saved. Yay, I'm still alive. I might have peed myself a little, but please don't hold it against me. Are you nuts? Just because you can restore them with Null's magical core doesn't mean you should be so quick to use command spells. Not gonna let anybody die. Not while I'm the commander. I see. That explains a lot, actually. Thank you, Acting Commander. No, Master. What was that, Captain? Why was I just drowning in rainbows of all things? Also, I think I was starting to lose my mind while that was happening. This shouldn't be possible, but the only explanation that makes sense is that void space is somehow observable now. Like that goddess lady said earlier, under normal circumstances, there shouldn't be any way for us to properly observe the void. If you asked 100 people to describe what they saw, you'd get 100 different answers, none of which you'd be able to verify in any way. So void entities always maintain their observability, making it absolutely impossible for reality and void to interact. At least that's how it's supposed to be, but if someone or something changed void space in a way so that everyone who observed it saw the exact same rainbow vortex, then both reality and the void would each be able to observe each other. And that would cause those of us who from reality and this world from a void to start bugging out. Bugging out, you say? Listen, every human's sense and ability to process information we developed over thousands of years, that is, our senses and even our connection to the world, would go haywire. We're gonna go mad. Okay, fine. Either we go completely mad or the world around us does. More specifically, our perception of the world, or perhaps the world itself, would become twisted beyond recognition, proving which of the two were being affected would be impossible, but either way, the result is the same. Total annihilation. So I say we can no longer look at any light coming in from the outside. We cannot afford to touch it, and we definitely can't let it flood the ship. As of this point, we can no longer count on void space's unobservability to keep us safe. The world outside is the pressure halls, and our battlefield is now just as deadly and hostile as the deep sea. Void space be terrifying. Of course it is. Any kind of completely unobservable domain you can imagine was never going to be anything less than the stuff of apocalyptic nightmares. But even so, this was supposed to be the safest sea in the world to dive into, if only because I thought we wouldn't have to worry about any reefs, the bane of submarine crews everywhere. Well, so much for that. Damn it, I knew we should have at least finished developing the ship's defensive barriers. Bridge here, we just finished sealing off the bulkheads and the ship's come to a complete stop. The rest is up to you. Right, first of all, we need to prepare for a low-speed emerge. Oh, come on. Nani, the hell is it now? Wait, are we under attack? We sure are, acting Vice Commander. Incoming attack to the portside pressure hull, bearing 323. The barrage looks to be as strong as Sea-Rank Noble Phantasm. Sea-Rank Noble Phantasm? That puts this in the same leagues as Mori's Ningen Mukotuski and Kentucky's Golden Spark. That's not pretty good. That's not good at all. Of course it's bad. I mean, we're okay for the moment, but an attack in void space? What could possibly be attacking us? Yeah, don't worry about how things are supposed to be here. I know, but we don't have any means of fighting back. When we sealed off the lower decks, we also lost our entire stock of torpedoes. And even if we haven't, how are we supposed to fire them in void space? We never dreamed combat here was even possible, let alone that we'd be forced to engage in it. Master, wait, I just remembered. Didn't Jean-Yu just also tell you to open the box? Yes, box power! The box ghost will save us. Totally. Mashes. Jean-Yu. I like where this is going, man. What's one of my outfits doing in here? Wait, Master, look, there's also a note with a familiar handwriting inside. Hello, Senpai? You can't just help getting into trouble, can you? Well, lucky for you, you're considered capable Kohai for such an occasion, and decided to send you a little secret weapon to help you out of it. Well, unfortunately, I didn't have time to make more than one, since your oversized mech friend there, Jean-Yu, sprung the order at me at the 11th hour. Hey, do me a favor and tell him to give me a heads up about these things far ahead of time next time, okay? In the meantime, I really want to be able to deny any involvement in this latest incident, so I'll be off on the far side of the moon, shoring up my alibi. Good luck. Yours truly, BB. Put it on, Mash. Put it on now. Huh? You want me to change into the swimsuit? Here? I'll put up. You'll change in a flash and light curtain for privacy. I can't say I'm entirely okay with this, but there, I'm all change, Master, although I still don't see why I... Mash? What's going on? The sea. The sea's calling to me. Captain, permission to use the ship's airlock. You don't mean... I do. I don't know what BB did to the swimsuit, but I think I can move about in the sea just like any other now. So I'll go out and fend off the attacks myself. Don't worry. I'm not a shielder for nothing. Mash. Godspeed. The first person to actually swim in the void is my Mashu. Well, not my Mashu, because my Mashu's a 10-10-10! But still, a Mashu is the first to swim in the void. Call of the Void Space. Okay, that was a lot of stuff. So, what do we have? So she gets a damage boost, NP every turn, and a defense boost as well. All these guys are about to fire when ready. I think it's trying to hint that I should probably use NP here. You know, it's nice to sometimes see these NPs in slow-mo. You don't see them that much. You really, really don't. Sneak attack undetected. Gets sure hit. Hostility unconverged is a crit boost. And then they get charge again. Oh wow, I just have NP again. Interesting. Let's just do invincibility this time. No need to NP twice in a row. And then a BAQ should be good enough. Okay. And fired. Oh, right. So because this isn't my mash, she's only got Bunker Bolt right now. Right. I guess it does make sense for them to forcibly have to give you a support mash, since there are some fools out there who have not leveled up their Mashus. So I guess it makes some semblance of sense. Only some, though. Some. Alright, unknown enemy class for this one. You'll form your party immediately before the battle begins again. Alrighty. Time to face the music. So an angry mash, oh boy. I do have things I'd like to say about my forced swimsuit change, but that can wait until later. For now, I can at least say this outfit BB gave us works extremely well. Not only does it let me perceive void space as easily as I can reality space, it even feels like it's boosting my physical capabilities. That said, I still wasn't able to get the visual on the enemies attacking us. All I could do was flail around that random and use my noble phantasm. That's way better than nothing. I don't even want to think about what might have happened if we hadn't had that. Then Zhang Yu and our ally from the moon must have foreseen this predicament in far greater detail than we imagined. Yeah, you take it easy. You were drooling there not so long ago. Very well, I think I'll rest a bit longer then. Worry not, I'm still listening, yes. Zhang Yu seems like he would know what's going on, but he shut himself inside his room and hasn't responded to any of our questions. The only thing he said before entering sleep mode was that he was only doing so to conserve energy. Yeah, it looks like he was right about everything. The sections we abandoned contained our computers, navigational equipment, torpedoes, food, and most of our magical energy resources. With all of them gone, that all of us will only be operational for about 150 more hours. Yeah. Zhang Yu must have known that maintaining servants' materializations constantly consumed small amounts of magical energy, and take what measures he could to make up for that. Yeah, wish he could have told us! He must have been so focused on his calculations that he couldn't spare the time. Anyway, the fact that remains that if it weren't for him, we probably wouldn't be here right now. I can't believe I ever doubted you, General Zhang Yu. General Zhang Yu, huh? When you realize you've been wrong, you admit it as soon as possible. That is the law of life at the sea. Not that it's going to make up for my idiocy now. Cheer up, Nemos. If you're still that optimistic about our situation, Acting Commander, maybe I need to revisit just how bad things are right now for you. Our ship is running aground on a void reef. Ridiculous as that sounds. And now we're stranded. We can still move, but only just. What's more, we can only use our legs, so to speak, since our sonar and torpedoes are gone. To keep the body metaphor going, we've lost our eyes, our ears, our arms. Though I suppose we can at least blindly stumble about. And if that wasn't bad enough, we've also been attacked by a mysterious enemy with attacks as strong as mid-range noble phantasms. So now we need to evade this enemy and the reef without enough in the way of food or fuel. We're left with two rather unappealing options: wait here to die or run around blindly until we die. So forgive me if we're not exactly bursting with enthusiasm. Yeah, let's not just say things are gonna work out somehow. That's just like way too optimistic. It's gonna be okay. It's not as good, but you know. Captain, the acting commander is fully aware that our current situation is dire. But we found ourselves in seemingly hopeless situations before, and we always managed to pull through. And we didn't do it so alone. We wouldn't be here now if it weren't for Chaldea's staff, the heroic spirits, and the people we met on our travels. Even here, we've already received help from the moon, despite being cut off from Chaldea. So remember, we're not the only ones here. There's also the the Nemo series, Osaka Behime, Scotty. Suffice to say, we're far from alone. Yeah, I know I was kind of freaking out there earlier, but with this thing about this is bad, I'm ready to do my part. I want you to know that I suppose I can no longer simply lie down on the job. It's time I got serious. You're right, I shouldn't have been so quick to succumb to fatalism. Alright then, Mash, Soul. Let's look for the silver lining of these dark clouds. Well, first off, there's this bamboo skull. There's this bamboo scroll Shang-Ju left for us. I think this is what the people in ancient China used to take notes. Looks pretty cool. At any rate, it contains an incredibly detailed diagram of some sort. Looks like a navigational chart. Say, I just had a thought. Maybe that super loud yelling was actually him doing some kind of echolocation scan? Let me see that. If you're right about what this looks like, then there's a pretty intricate ocean trench here. In fact, it kind of looks like a maze. The chart even shows our current location, the route we should take, and a mark indicating what appears to be our destination. Maybe this could help us escape. As if he hadn't already helped us enough. Then again, I suppose I should expect no less from him. Still, this only makes the loss of our sonar and torpedoes all the more painful. It would be one thing if they were still repairable, but with them gone completely, well. Unfortunately, we also don't have any of the engineering know-how or facilities we would need to make a new advanced electronic and spiriton equipment from the machinery we still have on hand. So, Acting Commander, what do you think we should do next? Find some locals, you know. I see. Normally I'd be pretty dubious about the prospect of finding anyone in the void space, let alone someone who could help us. But since we've already run into reefs and enemies here, it seems clear the usual rules no longer apply. As for the summoning option, we'll need to be very careful when we take that route. Like I said before, it costs energy just to keep a servant materialized. Honestly, keeping too many servants around would make it extremely risky, even if the ship were in perfect condition. Not to mention, there might be circumstances where we need to shut off the magical reactors. But we also can't deny that having someone here help us make new versions of lost equipment would improve our situation dramatically. It's also the only strategy we can actively pursue given the current circumstances, so that alone may make it worth trying. I just ran the numbers. With the Zhang Yu sleeping, we should have enough energy to keep another servant around, no problem. I guess that settles it then. In that case, Soul, I have something important to tell you, and a suggestion to make. Remember, we're not in Lost Butler Singularity. Void space or not, we're still in the Wandering Sea, which means we're also still on Chaldea premises. And while we may have suffered some significant damage, we still have magical reactors and a servant handling computer duties. That makes this ship something of a Chaldean branch office, which means you can use the Spirit Origin Graph for the summon. I can call a Chaldean servant. Okay. That's right, which means we can summon a servant we know and can trust who has the skills we need. Performing an additional summon during a knowledge voyage would normally be unthinkable, but in this case, I think it's an acceptable risk. That's also why we need to be extremely careful about who we choose to summon, so my suggestion is to let the professor make that choice. My suggestion is temporarily activating the personnel selection routine. Sion implanted in my mind to arrive at the best possible choice. The upside of having this approach is that it almost let us completely eliminate any risk of making our mistake and choosing the wrong servant. The downside is, well, I've never run this protocol before, so I'm more than a little nervous. Oh, and also, Sion's routine is known to make such incomprehensible personnel choices before, as I'm sure you've seen for yourself, Master. Like Abby. Right, so as General Zhang Yu's exploits here proved, there are ultimately good reasons behind these choices. So what do you think, Soul? Go ahead, Professor. Alright, I don't see any reason to refuse, so as the captain, I officially endorse this plan to summon help. Lend me your shield, Mosh. Right, Senpai. This class signal is that. Foreigner! How how? Heard someone summoning and thought I'd try answering it. I'm you, a foreigner. Do I know you? You? For some reason, I have vague memories of her. Wait, no, nope. Oh no, I crashed. I totally crashed by accident, and I'll have to remake that decision. Gotcha, totally remake that decision. I honestly thought it was implying that was an R-U-U, is what it was. So yeah, redo that real quick. Although, now that I think about it, did she have a story premiere? I honestly can't recall her story premiere. Resume from the start here. Also, it's still too low. I thought I moved you up a little bit. Face the angry mesh. A little bit higher still. Practically drooling. General Zhang Yu, huh? Cheer up, Nemos. It's gonna be okay. Find hub local or summon. Chaldean servant connection. Like Abby. I'll let the professor handle. Lend me your shield, mush. You. Some vague memories of her. Okay, so it was the same. If I may, senpai, I don't believe we know this heroic spirit. Are you a court musician? Does anyone here recognize her? Judging from her clothing and her choice of greeting, she would seem to be a heroic spirit from somewhere in the proper human histories, Asia. But never mind that now. What happened to summoning a Chaldean servant, Professor? Yeah, this is weird. Give me a sec while I check the logs. It looks like the personnel selection routine ran into an error while searching for an aptitude, and failed to use the spirit origin graph to narrow down the possible summons. That caused the heroic spirit control program to glitch out, so it ended up summoning heroic spirit from the usual throne instead. I suppose this just emphasizes how important it is to test things like this ahead of time. Lesson learned. So this is Yu Yu's official first placement in the story. Summoning accident then. Damn it, I really hope down the drain. No, not yet. I refuse to give up just yet. Yu, you must be an accomplished heroic spirit, right? Would you please tell us your true name and your special skills? You guys do sound like you're in a pretty tight spot, but my true name, right off the bat? I don't know. So I can totally tell. Tell what? This genuine nobility and elegance shining through even as she attempts to hide it behind a friendly demeanor. I call it PDF, Princess Dominion Force for short. As a point of comparison, I have a PDF level of 2, and yours must be at least 360,000. And Batty's broke. Even though today, which is its own little Jingoku, thanks to all the high PDF princesses running around there, the only other one with a high PDF level in the 6 digits is Lady Cleopatra. This beautiful lady from China with enough PDF to rival one of the greatest empresses of all time can only be. Yes, I guess you're right. My true name is Yang Yuhan, though I usually go by my nickname Yu. Historically, I guess I'm probably better known as Yang Guifai. Oh gosh, this is so embarrassing. Nice to meet you all, I guess. I could have sworn I've dreamed about this. Recognize that name? Yang Guifai was well known far and wide as a peerless beauty during China's Tang Dynasty, and she became Emperor Xuanzong's queen consort. It's said that she set 100 men's heart aflame with a single smile, and she was also highly proficient in numerous fine arts. Is that why she has a musical instrument with her? Anyway, that's Yang Guifei in a nutshell. She's a beauty so stunning she influenced all of China. A true one of the people. No, please no more. I'm nothing like that, really. I'm just a common earth, the same nondescript, lychee-loving village girl you'll find anywhere. And she's unbelievably humble too, Master. I can't help but be a little nervous around her. Still, as acting vice commander of the ship, it's imperative I ask questions that need answered. Yang Guifei, do you know why you are so materialized as a foreigner? Foreigners are exceedingly rare even among the extra class, and there's still a lot we don't know about them. All we can say based on our experience is that foreigners can turn the very laws of this world on their head. Fortunately, Abby and Hokusai know what they are, and they have kindly agreed to both keep themselves in check and help us out with our mission. But about you, Yu? Do you understand that you're a highly unusual kind of being? Are able and willing to keep your spirit origin under control? And most importantly, are you willing to help Master Soul and us during these unprecedentedly dire circumstances? I'm happy to say my answer to all your questions is she. That is, yes, I'll allow you to explain. First, I'm very aware the heroic spirit summoning system is meant to first and foremost keep humanity safe. Next, my spirit origin. I appreciate you dancing around at match, but the fact is, historically, I'm a femme fatale, so dangerous. I could bring an entire nation to her in, right? Can't deny that there are some historians out there with that opinion, yes. It's fine, I don't love it, but that is what it is, and only thanks to that, I do think I've been given the authority to wreak widespread havoc and destruction. Still, at least in this spirit origin, I feel terrible that I end up indirectly sparking a rebellion. I would never go around hurting people like some sort of avenger. Also, since my beloved Emperor would obviously never want anything bad to happen to humanity, I'm not about to let some strange god get in the way with destroying them. So yes, you swear to make use of all the power at my command to help you, Master. You could even use a command spell on me to make sure I do just that if you like. It's okay, I believe you. I'm Soul, by the way. Soul. Great. Nice to meet you, Soul. Now, would it be okay if I were to get to work right away? What you about to work about? I'm guessing it's because many people thought I was a great performer, but for whatever reason, I have really, really good hearing. You do? Then does that mean you can hear even what's happening outside the ship? In fact, ever since I've got here, I've been hearing someone outside pounding on the ship and saying there are enemies coming. Someone outside the ship? In void space? The local ally we didn't even hope for. Captain, permission to exit the ship again. I'll go rescue whoever is outside. Permission denied. I can't let you go out there alone when we know there might be enemies nearby. If it was just me, I could move around like normal in void space too, but... No, I can't. It wouldn't be safe for me to leave the ship when we still don't know what's going on. Not to worry, that should not be a problem anymore. Yeah. Hey! Interesting. Yeah, what that kind of kinky stuff that? Oh, Osaka. There, I've transformed into my other self. I will explain later. For the time being, now that we have more personnel who can move about in void space, we should have no issue defeating these enemies and securing this mysterious being from outside the ship. You know, I wonder if this was all just a hint that there would eventually be some Suit Scotty. It definitely feels like it is. And what is this outfit? I can't understand why my other self would ever choose to dress this way. There you have it, Captain Nemo. What about a 3-person team? I guess that could work. Alright, Acting Commander, it is your call. I'll go along with whatever you decide. You sure you'll be okay, Mash? You said you couldn't see them. I see. So you're going to be fighting close quarters in battles in void space, yes? In that case, if I tweak this and change that... There we go. I think I can do something to help. What kind of something? Since this place's true nature looks to be something into pitch dark depths of the sea, lit by false light, I'll use the flame illusions I give off to imbue these enemies with proper visual concept, thereby making them visible-ish. Basically, I'll determine the enemy's position, size, and class through the sound they make, then project a nice visual on top. That should let you fight them without getting confused. Looks like Yang Wi-Fi has a handle on our situation, and she's best equipped to do something about it. I'll admit I was worried about this summoning at first, but looks like we really did get a heroic spirit we needed. Alright, everybody, let's head out. Ooh, I popped my shoulder. Very light pop, but a pop nonetheless. Alright, we have Scotty. Skills 1 across the board. Probably because it's not actually Skaha Summer form. And Osakabe, Hime, and Summer. No idea on what class the enemies are going to be. Let's find out. Partly on. Invisible hostility. I still am not seeing what I'm facing. Oh, okay. That makes it a little bit cool. That makes it a lot cooler, actually. Okay, Okay, so Scotty can't even... Price of Shame is unable to use the Noble Phantasm. Osaka, you are... AoE. Good. Good, we need an AoE here. Go something like this. Reveals a Saber. Oh, so close. Okay, start working on a NP boost gain, whatever. I honestly forgot to use any skills from Osaka, because I don't really know what she can do. So what can you do? Crit strength for 3 times 3 turns and a 1-turn evasion. Target focus to 1 enemy, increase attack and sure hit for all allies. And a 3-turn Buster Arts boost. Okay, Mash. Shield of Rousing Resolution. To draw all enemy fire. Reveal another tentacle. Okay. Heal Mash. It's not much, but every little bit helps. And then a Brave Chain from Osaka by Hime. Honestly, this team setup is not that synergistic anymore. I think Scotty's the weak link, or yeah, Scotty is the weak link in this team comp, so if anybody needs to go down, it's gonna have to be her. Okay. I'll eliminate one. I'll leave 1 tentacle left. Coil. Okay. This should be NP for Mash, which will give us a little bit more staying power here to keep Mash alive. Oh. It's already a pretty tough event to start things off, though, to be fair, I haven't actually used any of my servants. So of course it would be hard. You know, that would actually be an interesting event if it was just all servants from, like, that are support. None of actually your servants. That might make a very interesting event concept. A lot of people wouldn't be happy with it, though, since you wouldn't be able to get bond points or anything, but I think it'd be interesting. Alright. And then there was one me. How many of them? 2. Okay, so we need to survive 2 turns here. Get that evasion up. Be a Q. Initial hit won't do anything, but it will reveal. Oh wow, the crit punched through the thing. Saber. Okay. So the Saber will definitely go down to the NP. So then we target you. Do crit strength and get another invasion. Do this. And that. Get an attack boost. Start off with Buster, into NP, into Arts. Okay. And it reveals to be probably an Assassin or an Archer. Same difference. Bunch of origami animals. I don't remember ever using her NP during the summer event where she debuted. I honestly don't recall. But that was amusing. It was an amusing NP. Alrighty. Quest complete. That was a tough one. I really hope I get to start using my servants here soon. Really, really do. There I can see more void enemies in our vicinity, as well as a vast expanse of land that looks like a seabed. Good work, but don't rely on this ability of mine too much. I can't visualize enemies I can't hear. Also, the topography you're seeing is a rough projection based on the reverberations I picked up during your battle. I'll refine it once I can use real naval charts as a reference. In the meantime, now that the fight's over, you should save whoever's in trouble out there. Their voice has been getting weaker and weaker. I think they're still hanging onto the port side of the outer hall, but if they let go, well... Anyway, try to save them before that happens, Mash. Maybe I hold the gable thing and have them grab onto it. That's how this goddess is gonna be, Mash. You go and look for them while I fold up a rescue team. Understood. There, I see them. Good, because I'm too nearsighted to tell. Lead the way. Right. Poor Scotty. Out of her element. There, I see him. Shiogami Rescue Squad, Europe. Hakuro Sea Monkeys. We did it, Master. We rescued them. Way to go. Don't criticize the help. Rescue Squad, returning ship, requesting airlock access, Captain Nemo. Bridge here granted. We'll give the new guest a proper welcome. You know, Soul, it's strange. This whole situation is utterly ludicrous, but I can't help but be kind of excited. The void seems beyond deadly, and yet someone was still drifting around in it. What sort of person could it be? We could do that, I think is what it said. Yeah. When we managed to rescue the mysterious castaway at the side of the ship, I could never have imagined in my wildest dreams who they would turn out to be. It's gonna be XX, isn't it? Thank goodness, I thought I was going to end up disappearing into the void like so much kelp. Kelp, that's a funny word. It really is tasty, though. Kindness, thoughtfulness. I love people. Nope, it's Van Gogh! Okay, I was thinking. Totally not an ominous flower, by the way. Alright, I'm sorry. I almost forgot to introduce myself. I'm a foreigner servant. As you can see, my true name is Van Gogh. Van Gogh. It's time to go, Van Gogh. Alright, Berserkers only this time. That's easier. Report! It's been 5 hours since the rescue operation. So far, there have been no further enemy attacks. Your course of action turned out to be correct, Acting Commander. Yang has been a huge help, and the person we rescued is assisting us now, too. Despite how hopeless things seemed before, we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Stop it, Captain. You're gonna make me blush. Thank you, though. I'll keep doing my best to be your eyes and ears. Ooh. Hang on. Need to read what skipped. By the way, would it be possible for me to work outside the ship too? How did you make it so you and Osaka Hime could do that, Lady Goddess? Well, the swimsuit our ally from the moon sent us was embedded with this, I believe called a memory chip. Nice. There is a mysterious spell burned into it that appears to be, if not void of magecraft, then something similar. When this chip is installed into a spirit's clothing, it makes the wearer compatible with void space, and additionally improves their physical capabilities. However, the only servants who can make use of these outfits are those who possess swimsuit spirit origins, or who have otherwise acquired a swimsuit in the past. Unfortunately, the only such heroic spirits here are Osaka, Behime, and Mash. I'm sorry, but it was simply too easy for me to wear one. Still, if we're to summon any other swimsuit-capable servants at some point, I can ensure their clothing is similarly void space compatible. I may not know much in the way of modern-day electronics, but I can still duplicate the entire chip with my rune magecraft. Well, things from the engine room aren't looking great. We've been lucky to avoid any critical damage, but driver train's still a mess when we ran aground. We need to get to a dry dock to even begin doing something about our crazy fuel inefficiencies and that loud as shit engine rattle you're hearing. And since we lost holds on fuel, best not to expect any rapid maneuvers or speed changes anytime soon. We got beds set up for everyone in the crew compartment. Meals might be a little basic, though. Most of our food supply was lost along with the fuel, so we're afraid the servants are all gonna have to make do with just magical energy for a while. But hey, aside from that, everything's fine. We're really happy we've got so many guests. Excuse me. Thanks, everyone. With that, then let's get out of the way. Let's talk about our biggest problem. Well, mystery, really. And speaking, of course, of Van Gogh. Is she really the Vincent Van Gogh? And is she really on our side? Well, I tested a sample of her blood. On the matriarch side of things, her spirit body is circulating an unusual kind of ether at very high densities. Servant blood is already fairly different from standard blood, since it's homeostatic magical energy meant to keep the servant's spirit origin working. But Van Gogh's blood appears to be a step removed even from that. While we're still waiting for Professor to conduct her examination, I can say that Van Gogh's spiritine composition and reactions are a similar type of those of a plant-based elixir. She may be heroic spirit using a non-human body, like a special kind of homunculus for her vessel. By the way, the reason I've been using female pronouns for her is because, at least medically speaking, she's 100%, well, female. Well, that is not so unusual. That sort of thing happens in Chaldea quite frequently, does it not? Yes, it does. Just because there's a precedent for it doesn't mean it's not significant. Hasn't there always been a clear reason for why servants materialize as gender other than the one they're generally known as to have been? Yes, there has. There have been cases where her spirit's legend was lost or altered, like with Arctoria and Raiko. Others were summoned as a part of a unit, like Hokusai. And then there's Musashi, whose circumstances are entirely unique. But the common thread among them is that they are from time periods with very few reliable records. But Vincent van Gogh was a world-famous painter from the 19th century Holland and France. You have ample historical records, including his own self-portraits, and even a few photographs to confirm he was male. Well, what did you have to say about herself? You talked to her a bit, right, Master? Well... What did she say? You want to know what it was like when I was alive? Oh gosh, that's embarrassing. My life really wasn't all that special. I couldn't hack it as either a salesperson or a missionary, so I used to do job my parents and my little brother Theo, and spend all my time painting pictures that never sold. There were lots of painters I would have loved to be friends with, but my attempt to befriend Guaguin was kind of a disaster. After that, I kind of fell into a funk, and ultimately, well, I put a gun to my chest out in the little village of Ose. I never would have dreamed that my paintings would be so popular a whole century later. I'm sorry, I can't help but smile about that. Was there anyone I loved? Of course. There was Ki, who you might have heard of thanks to her famous quote, and Sien. Yes, they were women. Same-sex relationships. What are you talking about? I'm a woman, and Ki was a... Oh. What were we talking about again? So there's some kind of mental block on her. Okay. Something is definitely off. Right, the details she shared did line up perfectly with our records of Vincent van Gogh's life. But then there are the grave contradictions her gender brings up considering when Van Gogh lived. For example, the fact that Vincent is a male name, or the fact that her cohabitation with Paul Gauguin would have been a tremendous scandal back then if she had been a woman. And then there were all her relationship troubles the database lists, as all of those involved other women too. I don't think she's lying to us, but she definitely seems a little mixed up about her memories. That said, she does seem to be fully cognizant of the fact that she's a woman. Female Van Gogh from another world? If that's the case, I can think of 3 possibilities. 1, she's an unrelated person who truly believes she's Vincent Van Gogh. 2, she is Van Gogh, but her gender and memories are scrambled by a spirit origin abnormality. And 3, she's actually an enemy who's lying about being Vincent Van Gogh. What do you think, Master? She's been extremely friendly. I know that much. And now we get to see examples. No way, Hokusai's materialized too? Really? I'd love to meet her. I'm a huge fan of Japan. In fact, Japanese artists were a huge influence on my work. I don't know much about this foreigner stuff, but if you form a contract with me, I'll gladly do anything I can to help. It's a little worrying that she does seem to realize she's a foreigner. At least, she's not hostile. Right, in the meantime, whether she's the real Van Gogh or not, she's shared some valuable information about the void space with us. I'm still analyzing what she's given us, but at this point, it looks to be about 99.9% accurate. My hypothesis is that she was essentially born knowing things about void space by virtue of having materialized here. What's more, she obviously already proven that she can move around void space freely, even without a compatibility chip. So we can say for sure that she possesses protections pertaining to the sea that are at least as strong as ours. Nemo's. Given those abilities as well as the information she's given us, it seems like she could be a valuable asset in battle. Since she's a servant, that decision is entirely up to you, Master. You're in charge of the ship now, after all. What do you want to do? I've got to form a temporary contract with her, I do think. I see your mind is made up as the sea turtle's shell is hard, Master. Oops, guess I kind of sounded like Captain Nemo there, didn't I? For future analogies, you might try a sea snail's tooth. Very tough, those. But I digress. A temporary contract, huh? Understood. We should be able to scrounge up enough resources to keep one more servant. But that being said, everyone, would you mind excusing us for a bit? I'd like to talk with the acting commander in private. I'm afraid this goes for you too, acting vice commander. I'd also like to ask you to stand guard, just to make sure nobody else overhears us. Well, this must be really important. Alright, understood. Good. Professor, put up an audio jamming battlefield for us, so not even Yang should be able to overhear. Alright, Master, what I'm about to tell you is a little, well, sensitive, but I'm going to serve you properly. I think you should know. I think I might know who that servant really is. Oh? Well, that darn field is causing so much static I can't hear a thing. Wish I knew what they were talking about. Aren't you curious, Your Excellency, Acting Vice Commander Kyrolite? Just Mash is fine, please. Okay then, Mash. What do you think Captain and Master are talking about all by themselves? I think they're probably discussing some very fine particulars of this operation, so it makes sense that they'd want to keep things confidential. I see, yeah, I guess you're right. Well, what can you do? Politics are, as always, ridiculously complicated hornet's nest, no matter the issue or era. So instead of dull and depressing stuff like that, I'd much rather talk about something exciting like romance. Tell me, what do you make of those two prospects? Are you seeking Captain Nemo and Master are involved? I have no proof, of course, but doesn't the idea of a commander abusing their authority to have a private tea with a subordinate just sound dreamy? No, it does not. Hey guys, you look like you were taking a break, so I brought you some drinks. Mash, if it were you and I, though. Thank you, it looks delicious. Oh, that tastes odd. Is that modern alcohol? It sure does. It's a cocktail called a depth charge. Don't worry, these are non-alcoholic. The captain loves to chug these down when nobody else is around. How? What a lovely drink that anyone can enjoy. How about you, Mash? Do you like it? This is terrible. If I drink anything called a tactile, Whoa, I don't think I've ever seen someone so affected by a non-alcoholic stuff so quickly. Their face is as pink as a peach. Drunk Mash. My heart rate and blood pressure are rapidly rising. Rational functions declining. Oh no, if I don't do something soon, I'll be overcome with the urge to burst in the bridge and grill Master with questions. I need to shut myself down immediately, if not sooner. Button, wish the button. Look at this. I was looking through the storeroom and happened to find this self-destruct switch. Sion certainly has a sense of humor, including something like this among our... Perfect, thank you. Mash out. Oh no. What was that? This is back up in the computer room. Someone just activated the self-destruct device that was made for April Fools. Is everyone okay? I told Sion it was a bad idea, but she insisted it would be harmless. What's the damage, Marine? Everyone's hair is burnt to a crisp, but otherwise we're fine. How can you call this fine? How are you gonna fix my poor hair? Oh, my ears hurt, huh? Wait, the ring isn't from the explosion. Uh-oh, everyone, can the comic relief? There's a ton of enemies headed our way. What? I'm here to help. I forgot to mention this earlier, but void sea monsters are actually really sensitive to sound. So if you want to survive out here, you really shouldn't have made any loud noises. Sorry I left when I'm nervous. Alright, which of you is ready to deploy? Mesh is fainted. Osaka Behime is missing. Damn, she must have run away. Very well, I shall just have to go out there again myself. Marines, bring me the strongest liquor you've got. It might help me forget my shame. If you do that, I still can't send only one servant out there alone. Very well then, how about this? Oh, what's going on? Why did my outfit change all of a sudden? I embedded a void compatibility spell into your clothing. It's a little rough since you have yet to undergo ascension, but it should be enough to let you operate outside the ship. Really? Gigi? With this new ascension, where I can certainly have outside the ship too. Where am I? I'd like to go outside as well. You would? Are you sure you can? Oh yes, I'm already compatible with white space, and my brush is itching for some action, so... Would it be okay if we formed a contract, Lord Soul? Probably not, huh? I could never attract any patrons. Aww. You're okay with this? Is this cool with you, Captain? Contracts are domain master, but I can tell you, if I had any objection to her joining the crew, I'd have voiced them before we rescued her. Vincent Van Gogh. Yes? You've got a contract. This is awesome. I promise I'll do my best. I'm liking Van Gogh's character. It's very amusing. Alrighty, so still a weakened Scotty, but we have full power-ish Van Gogh and Yu. Double the foreigner power, and it's a Berserker node, so this is gonna be cake. So I don't think I've actually had the chance to use Yu in combat yet. Mainly because she is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She is 7 places down on the rank up list, but so I get the chance to use her and Van Gogh for the first time. So I'll actually review Van Gogh's skills and weapons, abilities, and skills for how she will help us out in this event. If that laughter had gone on any longer, I would have been a little creeped out. So, Vincent Van Gogh is a quick-based foreigner servant. We know she is a support-based servant. She is hesitant to use the NP, so can't do anything like that. Her first skill is Void Space Art B+. Applies a Guts for 1 time for 5 turns, and Curse, Demerit, and Curse, Demerit, and Curse, Demerit, and increase NP charge based on the amount of curses applied to yourself. So it is a single Guts, multiple curses, as well as a NP charge. Really quickly, let me go through her... Yeah, her NP is just support. Her second skill is Het Gele Huiz A+. Decrease defense and decrease quick attack resistance for all enemies, and apply an evasion for 1 time for 3 turns, and a state where HP recovers for each turn. Also, apply a curse for 10 turns to all allies. Seeing a bit of a theme here, I'm guessing. Final skill, and this is a long one, is the Soul of the Water Channels. Increase attack for 3 turns, crit star gather rate for 3 turns for a single ally. Apply a state that removes 1 curse when attacking with a quick card, and a slightly increased attack for yourself when removal is successful for yourself, and absorb curse from all allies, excluding yourself. So this will consecrate all the curse onto only Van Gogh. However, it also... I think this one... Okay, so she doesn't have a heal. I could have sworn she did. But she gets an attack boost whenever she removes a curse, which happens when she attacks with a quick card here. So, let's go ahead and do a bit of demonstration. Though, I think I should also review Yu's skills here, since I don't think I've had the chance. First is Favors of 3,000 Consecrated to 1. We kind of ran over that with her Strengthening quest, which we haven't yet done, but it is showing up. Next is Ruinous Beauty A. Decrease MP charging corresponding to the amount decreased, and decreased defense for all allies for 3 turns. Final skill is Son of a Malignant Star. Living Flame State, where decreases defense and inflict burn to a single enemy when damaged for 3 turns, for 3 times 3 turns, as well as a defense increase for herself. She has an a single target Arts NP, significant attack damage to a burned enemy, and significant damage with overcharge, as well as inflict burn. Yeah, that's a mouthful. So we'll start off by going hard on Van Gogh. Generate the curses there, Van Gogh. So I definitely did that in the wrong order. I should have done Soul. I should have done. So this is essentially pretty much only good for herself, because it causes all the curse to flood Van Gogh here. So yeah, essentially, what you should do is the order should be Het Gele Huiz, then Soul of the Water Channels, and then Void Space, because that should be enough to generate an MP. However, that's beside the point. Let's start off by attacking. Let us see Van Gogh's attacks. Okay. Very interesting. I like that the extra attack pretty much makes a giant Van Gogh. Oh, there's multiple enemy waves. I didn't realize that. I wasn't paying attention. Is that more likely than not? Yeah. Arts Blast. I should check how long the attack boosts last for here real quick. So those attack boosts that Van Gogh has last for 2 turns total. Okay, next we will have a bit of a switch around of attacks. So How How to Scotty to How How. There we go. Nice crit. Okay. I kind of want to see... We can also do this, just because this will give me some more cards to work with if Scotty goes down. Not that I want her to go down, but it would be mild to moderately useful if she did. Mild to moderately. Granted, if I wanted Scotty to go down, I probably shouldn't have wiped out one enemy. Alright, sadly, Yu does not have any form of self-NP generation to help things out here. Alright, there goes Scotty. Actually, she does. I forgot she had that boosted skill. So, what we will do is... that. That. And that. So sadly, though, her NP is sealed, so we can't use it. How How's, however, is not. And she does have 2 ways of generation. I'm just, you know... I'm dumb. And then we'll do that. Living Flame. Alright. So, How can take down there, and then she can possibly Brave Chain the rest away. A glimpse at the true Yu, the foreigner within. I'm pretty sure Yu is Cthulhu. Oi is Cthulhu. Abby is Yogg-Sothoth. Voyager is just the fact that he's, you know, there's not the Voyager class in this game. I don't know what XX is off the top of that brain noodle, nor do I know what Van Gogh is off the top of the brain noodle. Those 2 I'm currently at a lack for knowledge. Hooray, we won. I knew I could kick butt in combat. And I have to say, Van Gogh, you and I fight really well together. You're amazing, Van Gogh. Say, would you mind if I call you Goey? This is great. I always wanted to try collaborating with an artist from a different culture. I knew it. I cannot abide the shame. No, must find us by him and drag her from her hiding. Whatever it takes. Where'd she run off to anyways? That is a question. She must have caught on to the tactic I was about to suggest. What tactic? We sent her out to perform a reconnaissance by firing her out of a torpedo tube. I mean, that's one way to do reconnaissance, I guess. That is one way to do reconnaissance. Alright, final part of Act 1, the Unknowable Reef. No battles on this node, though. Hoorah. No! I captured the deserter captain. This should make up for my crime of somehow inebriating the acting vice commander by giving her a non-alcoholic cocktail, right? Good work, Marine, but no, it doesn't. You there, other Marine. Have the culprit write a formal apology after tickling his armpit for 600 seconds. Aye, sir, I'll tickle the heck out of him. Save me. Tickle torture, huh? Alright, returning to the matter of Osaka Behime serving as the focus for a groundbreaking sonar substitute. Would you all mind explaining how it will work? As has been so recently demonstrated, void space is overrun with vicious monsters that are sensitive to sound. No, I understand this! Well, only then, just so there's no confusion, it's best if you think of void space around we're in now as something completely different from the original void space. You see, the idea that void space has always been full of dangerous reefs and monsters is simply too divergent from the current theories in Magecraft. With the information we have now, the most likely explanation is that someone tampered with this void space to make it observable, then scattered reefs and monsters all throughout it. While I'm curious as to what that someone can do and what their goal might be, it's not relevant to our current predicament. More importantly, the fact that these monsters are sensitive to sound would seem to indicate that they're well assimilated to this new void space characteristics. It's like the unknown chaos here divided itself into waters of Arsha monsters of Logos. Miss Van Gogh's explanation may not be entirely clear, so to elaborate. Whatever originally occupied void space seems to have split into two clear types of entities, thanks to our ability to observe void space now. If we were to compare this void space to a painter's palette, both the monsters and the reefs would be made of thick paint, and the rainbow light that now permeates the surface would be made up of thin paint. The rainbow light is dangerous, so much so that just viewing it with the naked eye is risky, but it also possesses other notable characteristics. I've been referring to it as light, but that's just for simplicity's sake. It isn't actually light. Its luminescence is entirely illusory, which is why it doesn't illuminate anything, and it refuses to let our retinas retain its true image. Like Miss Yang said, this place is essentially pitch dark. If anything, the rainbow light we're seeing now, the thin paint, if you will, is more like water in its consistency. So although it has the same low density as air, it also swells, leaks, and vibrates like water, which means it's very good at carrying sound. That explains why these void monsters are more sensitive to sound than light. Seems reasonable. So using the propellers and engaging in combat, to say nothing of that absurd commotion a moment ago, will all attract enemies. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. Go rest, Mash. I'll fill you in later. So basically, this is pure submarine warfare. We're stuck in the deep sea, devoid of light, and we basically have to find our enemies by sound alone, without making any noise that gave away our position. Unfortunately, that also means we're incredibly disadvantaged in numerous ways. First and foremost, with the Nautilus in our current shape, even starting the engine could make enough sound to trigger an attack. Second, the enemies seem to generally lie immobile and only attack when they notice us. That's for sure. I was drifting around here for a long time, and they didn't do anything to me. But if you make a sound, anything from the little guys who just attacked us, things bigger than this entire ship will be on us like paint on a canvas. It must have been large enemies that were blasting us with noble phantasm level attacks, though we still don't know exactly what those attacks were. At any rate, we know there are a lot more of them than there are of us. They've got us surrounded, and they're just waiting for us to make a sound so they can find and attack us. Meanwhile, with our radar out of commission, Yang's hearing us all we have to guide us, and with the enemy not making any sounds of their own, we have no choice but to do so ourselves. You mean like active sonar, when you send out a sound to determine your enemy's position by how long its waves take to bounce back? That'd be really, really dangerous. Right, if we were to do that now, it'd be obvious to draw the enemy's attention, so that option's off the table. Which is where Osaka Behime comes in. Her bounded field noble phantasm and the divination she uses for it are really quite remarkable. In essence, she performs a fairly wide area curse-based scan to distinguish friend from foe before fighting her noble phantasm. It is like a third eye that relies neither on sound nor sight. With this ability, we can locate our enemies while remaining completely quiet. I think it's an ideal solution. To do that, you're gonna shoot me out into the void sea all by myself, right? That's way too exciting. I mean, dangerous for my blood. Of course we're not gonna send you out there by yourself without any way to get back. It'll just look like we are. Oh crap, now Captain's actually thinking about doing it. No, I don't want us to die. You're a survival game expert, right? Then you must understand how important recon is. Well, I do get that, but I just hope for a more, indoor option. I see, I'll do my best to make that happen. No, it's already your bound field scan. Let's see, it extends out to about Imaginary Castle's in a moat, so maybe 600 meters or so. Looks like the naval Lord Zhang Yula first is at least 100 square kilometers. Damn, there's nowhere to run. At least make sure I have a way to get back safe, and a reward if I pull this off. Onigashi, please, Machan. One free command spell. Reverse command spell play? I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, Master, are you sure it's safe to give these to us? I can be handmade that much freedom. She won't do anything too evil. Are you sure? Remember, I once masterminded a pretty badass coup as the Lord of Sajet Pyramid at Himeji Castle. Okay, Captain, if this means I'll do anything I want to get, read command spell from Machan, then I'll do it. Great, that takes care of our sonar substitute. Now our ultimate objective is to reach the escape point General Zhang Yu laid out for us, and our immediate goal is to seize control of every region along the way. The Professor's already come up with a route, and identified 4 areas that we'll need to pass through on our way to our goal. Until we can ensure a region is safe, we'll have to all of the Nautilus remain standby in its periphery, and so send Osaka Behime out to probe the area. Once she's determined an enemy's location, I'll have her, Van Gogh, and Guifi swim over there and eliminate them in close quarters combat. Okay, whether it be sea or fight, you can count on you to help. I'll do my best to help too. Active Vice Commander Mash, she'll remain on board as our last line of defense against any extremely dangerous attacks we may face. Scotty, I'd like you to work out with the Professor as our head of engineering. Is that alright with you two? Of course, I'll do whatever it takes to restore my honor. That's alright with me too, but are you sure we have the time it will take to enact this plan? As I recall, we only have enough fuel for 100 or so more hours now. You're right, but we don't have any other choice for the time being. We'll just have to keep working on repairs and try to think of a better plan as we go. Let's start with the region we're in right now. For better or worse, this area is fairly narrow, so it should be ideal to determine whether our strategy is viable. Once we finish sweeping the area for enemies, we'll see how much energy we used, and, who's tugging on my sleeve? Captain, why does everyone here look like the Grand Armée is about to go up against General Winter? You know, that's a perfect analogy. Fact is, we're running low on resources, so we're having to power through on empty stomachs. Does that mean we don't have any food? That's right. We don't have nearly enough food, or more importantly, magical energy. While we're at it, we also don't have enough metal or chemical substances for all the repairs we need. I don't know anything about ship repairs, but I think we might be fine when it comes to food and magical energy. What do you mean? I can just see Logos monsters like I did when I was drifting around. Eat the Logos monsters, huh? She's right. It turns out the enemies we've defeated can be turned into both high-purity magical energy and food. So from here on, the combat team will also officially double as the resource procurement team. Alright, Arctic Commander, give the order. All hands, begin operation. The Great Void Sea Escape! How? Okay, everyone, let's get our first soiree started. No! Oh, stop it already. You're something of a goddess yourself, right? Start acting like it. But nobody told me I was going to be tethered to the ships with monster intestines. This is alright. The guns you collect from the large enemies are more than strong enough to survive as a lifeline. In fact, you may even be able to use these parts to repair the ship. Be proud, Osaka Behime. The Nautilus's fate is in your hands. What's so funny? Admit it, you're enjoying this, aren't you, you baka sadist goddess? Oh, that's just hilarious imagery. Oh, I'm just imagining it in my eyes' mind. And we got some dazzling fins and scales. Alrighty. Chiogami Battalion has been added to the request for backup. And it's loading. Select an area where you'd like to stay in. Select a sonar and use the resources you've collected. Investigate the selected area and its surroundings. Areas with treasure will be surrounded by faint ripples. Investigate these ripples for a chance at treasure. Areas you encounter may detect enemy shadows. Be aware you'll not be able to select areas behind enemy shadows to scan. Continue your investigation by going around the shadows. Investigate void space and clear survey quests. Select survey points. Increase survey gauge. Fill the survey gauge to unlock the new main quest. Collaborate with your allies to overcome difficult challenges. Call back up. We already know that. Alright. So, first things first, though, we do have the novice level of the void survey recruitment. So we'll go ahead and do this. So I don't really need damage. The main thing I want for this, it does look like the 3-star currency is on prominence. I want max limit break only. And only the event craft essence. Looks like Outlaw is going to shine through with us with his Jean. And then I need to set up party. So this is... Is this my... I think this might be my 5-star Ember farming squad. So I'll work from here then. Alright, so... Event bonus servants only. We primarily want archers for this, it looks like. And then we'll have Scotty come along because she can. And let's see. Summer Abbey will bring How. And if I had a Van Gogh, I would bring her, but I do not. So let's bring Lambda, even though she's not very effective here. We'll throw Imaginary around on Emiya, Color Me True on Lambda, and Scotty can go ahead and take 1 bond booster, with Abby taking another. There we go. This should be good, so all hands, sail forth. Alright, so increase Buster for 3 turns, evade for 1 turn, or all allies, including submembers. Remove imaginary number beta from all allies, including submembers. Let's enter without backup. Okay. Okay. Excuse me. I still feel like Summer Jean's ascension here is a little weird. It very much drops the swimsuit aspect and leans more into the magical girl side of things, but you know, to each their own. I'm not here to judge. Part of the yawn. Work's been whooping me the past few days, so I'm a little bit exhausted, but I might take a nap after dinner. Might is the key word. I do have to remember to, when reset comes around and Van Gogh gets the raid up, to be ready to stream again for Van Gogh summoning, because that will be a stream on its own. Probably not a very long stream, but you know, it's fine. I mean, I could do it. I could just do it tomorrow rather than having to worry about it tonight. I might do it tomorrow. I'm not sure just yet. I should probably see what Jarcher can actually do, rather than just pressing buttons. 3 turns Arts Boost, an NP Strength when near water, and all attack. I should probably have done that a little while ago. Okay. And given that NP boost, plus the fact I've got my Scotty here, we should be able to get NP to finish off this wave. Which are just mines. A very potent NP. I mean, dropping a whale, or having a whale back flip, or land on their back on somebody is probably going to hurt a lot. And Summer Abbey is officially Bond 5. Woo! And we got lots of resources there. Okay. I'll take it. However, that doesn't really help out with the point ladder system, I believe. Which I should actually investigate that before I do any more free quests. In fact, I might not do any more free quests on stream. Those are just pretty much farming, although they are just clear once. Anyways. So, what do we got here? Hey, J6, welcome to the stream. Happy things, man. Just loading up the shop. Yep, so this is the point ladder. Lots of mana prisms, QP. Really, is it just that? And then here is the shop. Spirit ley lines and dust are going to be nice, as will the ball of rainbowy threads. Okay. This event is the least of your worries. I mean, oh, I can't even do the next one yet. I mean, I will be honest, it doesn't seem like it will be that hard of an event to do. Osakabe Hime Boundary Dispatch! Scan begins! I find it hilarious that we are literally using Osakabe Hime as a torpedo. You're still farming the GP event, and you have Guild Wars in IF to worry about. Guild Wars in IF. Which gacha is that? I know you've talked about IF before. Is that the one with the, I can't remember her name. Gotcha. Alright, so I think, nope, that has not yet unlocked the next one. Essentially, taking this as sort of a grid pattern is definitely going to be the way to go. Or at least it's going to be the most efficient manner of exploration. Whee! Enemies. Alright. Attack. Question marks. Okay. But how have things been beyond, you know, gotcha, out of curiosity, J6? How's life been? You still been pretty busy with everything lately, or things starting to ease up with you? I can agree with that sentiment. Work is a pain. Heck, yesterday was like one of the roughest days in so long, since we already had somebody who had taken the whole week off for being on a cruise. Well, yesterday afternoon, we had one person leave because they were signing for a new house, which is understandable. They got the approval to leave. But then we had another person. Their child suddenly was sick, had to be picked up from school, and then, you know, taken home because they couldn't find a sitter for them. So I had to bring back and interview 24 flipping patients in the course of 4 hours. And it was like pain. You were taking a walk earlier, saw someone walking your dog, and dog was handicapped, only had 3 legs. Ooh. Yeah, that is sad. Sad thing is, the real sad thing is, that might not necessarily be a thing of abuse, technically, because, like, inbreeding of dogs has gotten so bad in some cases that a limb missing is sadly a more common sign, you know? It could very well just be that that dog was a result of inbreeding. Which is sad. I don't know what would be... I don't know what would be a more sad scenario for an animal to be missing a limb due to inbreeding or due to abuse. It'd probably be more sad if it's due to abuse, because through inbreeding, at the very least, they grew up and were born like that, so they naturally, like, do that. However, if it's, like, through abuse and something, then there's trauma associated with it, so... Neither of them are good, but... You've seen a dog with 2 legs before. Ooh. It's kind of bad to say, but I hope it was, like, both of the rear legs, and not, like, both of the front legs. Just because I can imagine that missing both of the rear legs is a lot easier to adapt to than missing any other combination of legs, you know? Alright, so I do think I've unlocked the next quest. I have the intermediate tier. Okay. All the legs on the left side. Oh. That's brutal. That would suck so bad. Like, I don't even know how something like that could happen. I mean, again, outside of, you know, abuse and that, but that would be incredibly difficult to... Well, that's good. If it was running around happy, that is a good thing. I'm glad that it is, at the very least, enjoying life, you know? At the very least, it is not hurting. I think I have to go with... Is Phoenix literally the only one on my friends list with Mac? Okay. I don't remember who Phoenix is. I think I added them before I started streaming FGO. I don't think they're just a dolphin. Because that's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have to have at least 7 of the 4-star C max limit broken. I mean, I guess it could be split amongst some stuff, but still, that is insanity. But let's go with your Murasaki, Phoenix. I don't remember who you are, but you are very clearly impressive. As far as your luck, if you are just a dolphin. I can bring around Mo. We'll bring Scotty again. You know what? Yeah, Scotty's fine. And then Melt, Yu, and Oi, I think. Mo can get Imaginary around. Color Me True, and then just Bonsies. It really does suck that they made Nemo's rate up be before Van Gogh's, you know? Like, why would they do something so silly as putting Nemo on rate up before Van Gogh? I'm pretty sure that Van Gogh is the more popular of the 2 characters. I could be wrong, though. I could very well be wrong on that statement. Van Gogh could very well be the less popular between the 2, but, you know. That's just my personal opinion. I think Van Gogh is a bit better, a bit cooler of a servant. You know? And it's not just the fact that she's a foreigner that it's causing bias. Totally not just the foreigner bias there, speaking. I mean, let's be honest here. Nemo is a vessel for a grand candidate, after all, you know. Nah! More feels! Why must you hit me with the feels, J6? Why? Not that I'm complaining, but why? I need to find some Shiki feels to send to you. I really, really do. Although looking at Murasaki is making me remember Katawa Shoujo, which has its own feels. I really... On one hand, I very much look forward to all of the games that are about to be dropping in, like, a couple of weeks' time. On the other hand, though, I look forward to when all of the new games that are going to be taking up a ton of time are going to be passed, so that way I can actually stream some other stuff. Hey, Forever, welcome to the stream. You're playing Pokemon Go with your cousin and did a raid for the first time. It was Giratina, and he got you one of those ring passes. It ended up being a shiny. Caught it, and you're thinking all your luck's gone? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, maybe a little gone. What you need to do, Forever, is you need to do some things that will generate, that would take luck, so that way you start accumulating the negative luck, you know? You used up all your good luck, so now you need to use up all your bad luck, so your good luck rises. Getting Scarlet J6? Nice, nice, nice. I'm getting Violet. Who knows, maybe we will be able to adventure together at some point. Since that is a thing with Scarlet and Violet, I guess, is adventuring with your friends. That'll be interesting. I very much wonder how that's gonna work. Murasaki, you are single target. There's something about it. I don't know. I'm not sure of the exact details. All I know is that the trailers show 4 player characters playing around together. Hey, Mordred, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Happy things, happy things. You just said Forever your bad luck, Mordred? Because I really can't afford bad luck, you know? I really can't. Not just from, like, the fact that I'm going to be pulling for Van Gogh either later tonight or sometime tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming either way. Can you please take your bad luck back, Mordred? Because I really need to not have bad luck. Because I need to rely on good luck to get into a course that is generally reserved only for Rad Tech students. However, since I'm not Rad Tech, but it is one that can technically be done before you get into Rad Tech, I need luck because I'm currently... My advisor is trying to talk to whoever's in charge of the course to allow me to get into the course. So that's going to require some luck, man. So please, can you take your luck back? Please? Okay, I can probably do one more exploration up this way. Can't I just give it to you? No, honestly, I would not wish bad luck on my advisor, because, and I'm going to be completely honest here, the advisor I have is so much better than any previous college advisor I've ever had. Like, this is technically the 3rd college that I've gone to. The first 2 colleges, like, okay, the first college, which I went to immediately after graduating high school. Is that Snake? It is. But, so the first college that I went to immediately after graduating high school, I met with my advisor once when I first started college, and that was to schedule my initial round of classes. I never even received word or email from them again. Like, it was just complete radio silence after that. So, that happened for... I was at that college for 4 years. Never heard from my advisor again. Not a single peep. then the second college I went to, the community college, to get the general credit stuff, where I was originally going to go for their radiology program, but theirs is a lot more complicated. I didn't even hear from the advisor once with them. Like, there wasn't even, hey, this is your advisor. Want to set up a meeting with us so that we can discuss your future here at our college? Nope. Didn't even get a single email with regards to that. You know? So I am very happy with my current advisor, and I do not wish them bad luck. You know what? Oh, there is an enemy. I'll continue my thought here in a moment. Sebas are the enemy, so we want Achas. You're getting Violet? Nice. And we'll go back to the squadron here and launch. So, you know what? I will pass off all this bad luck to whoever might be replacing my current anatomy and physiology professor. Because my current anatomy and physiology professor is pretty darn cool. You know, she is an excellent professor. And that's because she's been doing this for like 30 some odd years. And she is getting ready to retire, you know. So they're just now beginning to hire a replacement for her. So I will push off all this bad luck onto whoever's trying to be her replacement so that they don't hire her, so that way I can, you know, keep the same anatomy and physiology professor for one more semester, you know. That would be ideal. It really, really would be. Because she is awesome. I can't... Is that a glitch? Is that a glitch with this? You're supposed to see enemy status effects, right? Oh, and there they went. Weird. The status effects just not show on this guy? No, they do. The attack boost sort of disappeared, but when I got attacked, it showed like an increase, like all the extra attack things. So that's odd. Might be. But anyways, forever. Congrats on the shiny Giratina. Is it, I forget, is it Origin form that is currently in raids right now? Or is it the base form of Giratina currently in raids right now with Pokemon Go? Because I don't have a shiny Giratina in Pokemon Go. I just have basic Origin form Giratina, which I do like. Did I use the bonus effect? No. I did not use the bonus effect. And I asked Forever that. J6. Oh, I'm out of resources. How did I run out of resources? Doesn't the game know who I am? How dare it run me out of resources? Gosh. You think you know a game. Last time you played was to catch a Pat Rat and it turned out to be shiny. Nice. Okay. Think. It's Berserker, so bring in Phoenix, who is likely not a dolphin, but is actually a whale. And it's Berserker, so Oi can come along. And then Scotty. I'm trying to use the only people from this event. Actually, XA, you are you Quick Base? Or no, you're AoE. Are you not XA? I honestly cannot remember. It's been a while. Nope. She's single target. I could have swore somebody was quick based. I just can't remember who. Okay, this should be fine. We'll go ahead and throw Imaginary Round around, and then that there. And then Abby can hold the lunch. There we go. Forward march. Continue without backup. But yeah, I think we are technically approaching the end point of the stream, just because I don't know if continuing with the main story will eliminate the current exploration I'm on. Which I really don't want that to go poof, you know? If it does go poof, that would mean a loss of resource potential. But I mean, I kind of doubt it would. So maybe I'll continue with the main story a little bit more for this event, and then I'll call stream afterwards, just because I don't want to use any apples here and such. Yeah, so that might be what I do. I'll continue with the main story for a little bit here, and then I will call stream when I hit the next lockdown point. You can go back to the maps? Awesome. So then I can just continue along the story, Stanley. I really do need to... I really want to play Stanley Parable again. But do I want to play Stanley Parable, or do I want to play the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition? It's actually good to progress further faster since you can use different ways of exploring. Okay. I mean, tomorrow will be a shorter stream where I'm going to roll for Van Gogh, since she should be on raid up tomorrow. Should is the key word here. I'm not going to actually do any event stuff then, and then it'll probably be Monday. Let your stream play the Ultra Deluxe Edition. Is that possible? You mean like having... And then you get permanent broom closet ending. I can imagine that. I can imagine that that would happen if you let the stream control the broom closet ending. Honestly, the best ending in the game, let's be fair here. Alright, Oi. It's time to act. Stomach, I'm telling you to be quiet now. It is not your time. Soon, it'll be your time, Stomach. But not yet. But soon. You know, something else I might end up doing? I need to... It'd be more of a gag stream than anything, but I need to see if there's any, like, bone memorization game that I can really quickly download. Because I need to know, like, 50 different bones for my bone practical coming up here. Oh, I got the event CE. Nice! Yeah, I need to know like 50 different bones for a bone practical coming up in the next few weeks, so that might not be a bad thing to learn. Canis, like a bird. Running along the coastline isn't such a bad thing. Whether the salty winds hit you when you're running back over the waters, or if you run across the ground on the shore, it feels exhilarating, as long as there aren't any stupid distractions. Though it still feels cramped to me, because I have wings and all, but since you're with me, I've got no choice but to deal with it, right? Canis has wings? I didn't realize Canis had wings. Unless it's talking about the little ears on her head. I can't eat the bones. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. In my most recent anatomy and physiology lab, I actually did get to handle human bones. It was pretty cool. They were very clearly old bones. Like, I think my professor said that they were acquired, like, gosh. I think she said that they were acquired when the university first really started doing stuff. And that it was like... And they're weird bones as well. Okay, so the specific kind of bones, or bones that the university I go to acquired back when it was okay in Asia to sell your dying relatives' bodies for science. So the bones are like 100 years old. Or no, they're like 60 plus years old. They're at least 60, maybe even older than that, plus years old. And they're from people from the Asian continent. And they are small bones. Like, part of me wonders if they are child bones, you know, which is a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie. Because the possibility is there. I have the wrong filter on. I want that. Because I don't know. I keep pressing the wrong thing. There's too many buttons. Too many buttons. I did get to handle human bones, and it is interesting. And it sounds like when we do the neurological system, we might actually get to see some preserved human brains in jars. That's gonna be weird, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure that in order, police would be called, I would be arrested, rushed to the hospital to get my stomach pumped, expelled from school, given fines, and then thrown in jail. Probably in that order. I'd imagine, at least. I might die before all that, though, just because those brains have been soaking in formaldehyde for so long that it might very well be instantaneous death to consume them, you know? And, you know, instant death is not something I want to proct on myself. I really don't want to proc the instant death status effect on me. That's not how it works, though, Mordred. That is not how it works. I don't know if that's how it works for you humans, but for us dragons, eating the brains of others does not give you their memories. There would be a lot more traumatized dragons out there if that were the case, you know, since dragons tend to eat bodies whole and all that. Which would include the brains. So yeah, I don't think that particular part of human biology works for dragons like myself. I mean, I'd be fine with me doing that to Melt, and she is technically a dragon, so, you know, it works. So I'm fine with this, as long as I'm the one doing it. I'm trying to think if there's any other servants with... I mean, does XA count as a dragon? She is Seba. Seba has a dragon core, so does that make her dragon? Could Saber learn dragon shouts if she went to the Skyrim verse? That's a question that needs answering, actually. Could Seba be Dovahkiin? She'd be a very overpowered Dovahkiin. Let's be honest. Seba as Dovahkiin would be stupidly OP. Alright. Next part of Act 1, the Unnoble Reef. We are up against a Zerker. We are locked in with our choices. So let's just go. Not even gonna bother trying to use Osakabeheme's support here. Hey guys, listen to this. Professor and the Goddess Lady said they found a way to convert enemy carcasses from void into reality lickety-split. Wow, so what does that mean? It means we can finally eat the void monsters. Oh man, that's gonna suck for you, Master. I didn't even eat monster meat back on the mysterious island. Meat's back on the menu. There you are, Master. Oh, you look tired. Is something wrong? Did you get groggy from one of the Nemo Marine's surprisingly strong drinks like I did? Don't worry about your drunken episode, Mash. Really don't. It's adorable. Thank you for being so understanding, Master. I'll be more careful about what I drink in the future. At any rate, Captain Nemo just made an important discovery, and he's called an emergency briefing on the bridge. Come on. You know, honestly speaking, given the reaction Mash has to fake non-alcoholic drinks, we've seen that. We also see what reaction she has to actual alcoholic drinks. I think it's safer for everybody involved if Mash just starts drinking normal alcohol. Hey there, Acting Commander. Thanks for playing with the Marines. I know they can be a little rambunctious sometimes. Anyway, I have good news and bad news. Which would you like to hear first? Good news have anything to do with our new monster meat menu? So the catfish is already out of the bag, huh? I'll have to tighten up the ship's security protocol when I get a chance. Still, the situation is better than I expected. A lot better. See, we're not just going to eat or burn up monster carcasses we've collected as they are. I know Van Gogh said we could eat them as is, but turns out she can only do that because of her unique spirit origin. One professor took a look at a sample of Van Gogh's blood. She found it could convert void beings, that is imaginary beings, into real ones. After further research, she managed to extract all sorts of useful real materials from void enemy carcasses. And it's kind of amazing, really. We now have a renewable source of organic matter, minerals, magical energy, and safe-to-eat cuts of meat, so our resource problem is solved. This kind of practical experiment has never been attempted in the history of void-related magecraft, let alone succeed to this degree, so yes, that's the good news. Just what I always wanted. Void steak. I see you're not too happy about this either. Oh, I'm excited. I honestly would really like to try it. Osakabe and Scotty were pretty stubborn about not wanting to try it or make you eat it either. We've certainly hunted monsters for food in the past, Singularities, but these are an especially unusual case. I mean, these creatures live in the sea that drives us mad if we just look at it. I don't think we can blame anyone for being, well, hesitant. Which is why I decided to do this. Hello, everyone. Oh, it's you. I think we met briefly back at the lunch ceremony? That's right, this is Nemo Baker. While she, of course, specializes in baked bread, she's also proficient at cooking in general. Thanks to the new magical energy we have to spare, I was able to convert part of Scotty's magecraft workshop into a kitchen. So with Baker working her magic, even monster meat will be more appetizing than rations. At least I think so. Captain, can't you take this more seriously? Delicious food is one of the greatest joys of life on the ship, right? Don't worry, everyone. I'll do my best to make a yummy meal out of whatever ingredients I have to work with. It's not every day you get to go on a cruise, after all, so the more good memories you make, the better. I was always looking forward to try it. So yes, that's the good news. Now, the bad news. I'm afraid there's actually two things to share here. First, we now know for sure that we can't currently emerge back into reality space because of the damage to the ship. Actually, we wouldn't be able to emerge right now, even if the ship were perfectly fine, since the void space we're in now has no concept of depth. Well, specifically, this void space is so deep that it rejects any measurements of odd depth. The sense of depth we have here is now illusory. As a result, then all of us cannot emerge from this place any more than it can dive deeper. Basically, the spells like Paper Moon used to employ necessary concepts for emergence are unusable right now. At any attempt to move up or down, either simply won't work, or they'll cause coordinate axes to freak out and make us crash into a rocky shoal, so we have to be cautious. The hallmark of submarine warfare is its third dimension, but here it's restricted to a two-dimensional plane akin to traditional maritime warfare. So when we encounter enemies, we won't be able to dive down and sneak around underneath them or anything like that. Alright, now that you've caught up in the first piece of bad news, you ready to hear the second? Remember those giant enemies Van Gogh mentioned? Well, soon our Hime just picked one up. Is she okay? Oh yes, she's fine. She's used to being a living torpedo now, and she's sounding more like a seasoned scout every time. We certainly know a lot of interesting people, don't you, Soul? At any rate, in reality space measurements, this giant enemy she discovered looks to be over 80 meters long. Yeah, it is bigger than the average dragon. Oh yeah, the new support system is excellent. I really do have to take the time to actually properly make a full, proper support list for everything as well. Yeah, in fact, it's vastly larger than the original Nautilus, probably twice as big, if the amount of wastewater it's putting off is anything to go by. So yes, it's huge, easily big enough to qualify as a bona fide enemy ship. Of course, you may have seen even larger enemies over the course of your travels. Tree of Emptinesses are pretty big. Well, that does tell me a lot about the tries you've faced to come this far. At any rate, we should expect giant enemies like this one to bombard us with no phantasm-level attacks like the kind we saw before. And given the route we're taking, facing those things in close quarters combat is inevitable. Do you think you can handle them, Master? I can do my best. I agree, which is why I think we should consider sending out the acting vice commander, too. Show me to defend everyone in the close combat team against the enemy like before. That's right, if you can hold your ground in close range with the enemy, they shouldn't be able to target the ship either. That said, servant combat is Soul's domain. So I'll leave the team formation and the timing for sending everyone out up to you. I'll make sure we're all back safe and sound, Captain. Alright, so I am essentially restricted here to only use the servants I've got available. Oh, or not. I'm thrown into... Okay. Enemy ship Alpha. Protection of the Void. Special resistance up. That's a big ship. That is a mighty big ship. It's failing to load whatever you linked, by the way. This big boy is a toughie. And it's actually causing a bit of lag. Okay, there we go. It's loading now. Let's see here. Let's generate some stars. Yep, it is now showing up. Okay, so let's see here. Interesting choice to have Kuro in the Archer slot rather than just more Ilya. I'm gonna be honest here. It's interesting that you would choose to do that, considering you do have Ilya Summer. Got you. It's not good of you to be using Final Ascension Abby, by the way. That is not a good thing, man. You should not be using Abby's Final Ascension there. Ooh. Why didn't I get an NP? Oh, it's an NP each turn, duh. I'm a dum-dum. Van Gogh is still hesitant. Yeah. Okay, how? Start blasting. No, I honestly don't remember that. Okay, yeah, this thing's got a lot of resistance. It must be a survive quest. So I have to survive when I've not been focusing on survival. Shorts. You actually just kick them from your friends list. Interesting. I will admit, when it comes to combat, I do ascend Abby up to the higher forms. Maelstrom! I survived enemy ship Alpha. Yeah, just because base form Abby, her voice lines indicate she's terrified when she fights, and I don't want to put anybody through being scared of fighting. I'm actually trying to think, is Abby unique in that regard, where she's like the only servant that is scared to fight? Can't hold out any longer, Captain. Alright, Marines, get them out of there. Reeling their lifelines on the double. Wait, the reel's jammed. Now? Mrs. Yang sonar calling in from site. We're dangling fishhooks out here. I'm hearing a lot more creatures that are away from 275. Sounds like reinforcements. Get us out of here. Hang on a lot longer, MASH! I'm trying, Master, but I'm afraid I really can't hold out much longer. There's one thing I can suggest, Master. If we cut the combat team loose and use my noble phantasm, those of us in the Nautilus may make it out of here alive. No. Alright, I can see how serious you are about bringing everyone back. The way things are going, we need to keep that option as the last resort. We have approximately 70 seconds until enemy reinforcements arrive. Come on, Master. All of you, think. Reel them in by hand. Just start reeling them in by hand. I'll go mad before I let Mash die. Yeah, we're doomed. I know I should have just stayed in my room like a good Hiko. So much for my life. So I'm glad I got to meet all of you before I disappear. No, don't give up yet. Just kidding. This isn't over yet. Just a little Van Gogh for you. Oh, you sound really confident. Are you stronger than you look? Do you have some kind of secret plan to save us? Could you all close your eyes? Huh? I'm gonna release my noble phantasm, and even I don't know what'll happen when I do. It's a picture I painted when I was going through a really hard time, and I am a foreigner after all. But I'm sure if I release it, we'll make it out of this alive. Out of curiosity, Mordred, where does Van Gogh rank on your scale? Would Van Gogh make it onto your first support list at all? Out of curiosity? Go for it. By all means. Do it, Van Gogh. Now what? Computer room here. All of our instruments just went haywire. Whatever this is, it shouldn't be possible. Even in voice space, I can only theorize somebody activated a noble phantasm on par with a reality marble. Somebody on the combat team used a noble phantasm we've never seen before. Wait, hang on. What's this now? Yes. Our instruments are back online, and, looks like things are okay there now. I can confirm the combat team is back in the safe zone, Master. Captain, if you're gonna fire the noble phantasm, now's your chance. Not even in her first ascension. Yeah, out of curiosity, what are your opinions on people that plan on keeping Van Gogh in her first ascension? You know? Not asking because I plan on doing it. Just what's your opinions on it? So you're choosing to take the fight to the enemy here, huh? Very brave acting, Commander. Attention all hands. Prepare to deploy Noble Phantasm attack. Of course, the ship won't be able to endure the recoil in current state, so divert all the energy we can spare to an anti-impact spell. Our target is the enemy ship at 065. The aftershocks could also drive off enemy reinforcements. Get everything you've got. If we can't break through the enemy in one shot, we'll all be sunk for sure. I always give everything I've got. Hey, computer room, you sure you can keep that engine intact, right? Nope, I can't, but I'll do my best to make sure at least it doesn't come apart completely. Will that and a dance be enough to scare engine room lady? Hell no, it won't. You mess this up and I'll be making you dance on top of whatever's left of our magical reactors. Oh no, this is terrible. Professor's gonna end up a seafood barbecue. Yeah, you have anything to say here, Captain? You got some personality issues you need to work out here? Yeah, I definitely get the impression that Van Gogh here is a bit of a nervous Nelly, I think is the best way to put it. I'm just a bit flustered, but I'm in the mood for a bit of a speech. Would you mind? Go for it, go for it, Nemo. Alright, everyone. Win or lose, it all comes down to this. Well said, Captain. That's what being a sailor is all about. Set up the Triton engine. All sections, final safety checks. Go. We've already got the enemy square in our sights, of course. Copy that. Distance, target, and attack pattern analysis complete. Unfolding magical energy barrier. Now that's what I'm talking about. Engines 1, 2. Keep them revved up right up to the red line. Would anyone mind if I made a custard pudding for today's snack? Not at all! Alright, here we go. So whoever dares threaten the peaceful seas is going to have to answer to Captain Nemo. Great Ram. Nautilus! I really do hope that we get Noah eventually in NA and JP, I guess. It'd be JP first, but still. Really hope we get Noah rather than being an arcade exclusive. You're not really sure if you want Van Gogh or not right now. Fair. I mainly want Van Gogh because she's a foreigner and I must have all of the foreigners. Totally not a huge fan of the Eldritch or anything. First off, glad everybody's back safe and sound. Oh gosh, I still can't believe we made it back alive. I don't think I really understood what I got myself into before. I'm happy I was useful. I wonder what happened back there. I think I saw something, but yeah, my brain, all I can remember is something horrible. Me too, I'm not sure why, but when I try to recall what happened, my head just hurts. This is how you react after we managed to make it back alive from a fearsome battle? Yikes. Our has changed a lot since my time. Yang is right. This is the best possible result we could have hoped for, seeing as we didn't suffer a single casualty. Gotcha. That said, the victory didn't come at a cost. The ship's frame is only just holding together. The pressure hull is in tatters, and it almost cost us our lives to have that rainbow-colored leak. Luckily, we're now able to hold it back thanks to the Nemo series and Scotty, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure how we're still alive. I'm glad Nurse is here, yeah. The Nurse Nemo's definitely the nice one. We lost because we didn't play him well enough. Also, we underestimated our enemy and were way too careless about securing an escape. We might have succeeded at removing the giant enemies blocking our way, but only at the cost of the Nautilus being stuck as a beached whale. To get moving again, we'll need to collect everything we can from the area and put it towards fixing the ship. And since the next areas are only going to get bigger, we'll need to really focus on resource collection. First, we'll use what parts we've got in the Nautilus to get able to really see again. We need to focus on silent running and storage space for our extra resources. At the same time, we'll also need to expand our options for void sea warfare. Once we have more magical energy, we can and should bring in more servants to help us. That said, it's now clear that attacking those giant enemies with servants in close combat is a fool's errand, and we shouldn't bother even trying to do so any longer. This is going to be absolutely essential to find a new supply of torpedoes somewhere. I'm afraid we can no longer afford to accommodate passengers. You're now all part of the ship's crew, and I'm going to work you all accordingly. Be ready. But I don't want to work. That is no way to treat a goddess, but very well. I have plenty of skill and experience helping mortals, so I will do what I must. In particular, I'm guessing the two foreigners will be key in making our way out of the void sea, so I'll be counting on you more than ever. Of course, unskilled though I may be, I'm happy to help in any way I can. I'd like to help too. I don't know if I can. So, remember how you used your noble phantasm? I was so caught up in the moment that I never understood exactly how I was using my noble phantasm, or what its effects were. I'm sorry, I really am useless. The only thing I'm good for is hitting monsters and, expelling them as magical energy. Thanks, but no thanks. Oh, how about my blood instead? You can have as much of that as you like if it'll help. There you go. For the time being, your job will be to help the resource acquisition team, and to cooperate with Professor and Nurse's tests. We should have enough blood from you for now, but if we do need more, we'll be sure to ask. I'd love to see one of your paintings someday, Van Gogh. Be nice to her. I got a job and praise. This is amazing. I promise I'll do my best. Alright, dismissed for now, but we need to talk some stratagem. I got a job. City work, income. This is so cool. I'm gonna do my very best. Goey? Lady Goify, are you hugging me from behind? It's so great how well you're fitting in here. It really gets you motivated, doesn't it? I know it is for me. I look forward to working together. Yes, I do too, Lady Yang. Good luck remembering how to use your noble phantasm properly. I'm rooting for you. Why did that painting make that happen? What is a foreigner anyway? What am I? I don't know who you're associated with, Van Gogh. I very much look forward to finding out. I looked up Cthulhu when I found about Cthulhu, so I look forward to learning about Van Gogh. All-out battle cry has been added to a request for backup, so I can't do any more story until I have 13,000, which I'm like 200 short, so I think it's about time to call the stream here. Hey, Saber Plays. Terrible timing because I'm about to end the stream, but not technically. They're not. I don't think they technically are. From what I understand, any Noble Phantasm Shiro projects is a full rank down from the base version of them. Maybe in his. It might be in his Reality Marble. I know at the Reality Marble, at the very least, the cost for construction, as well as the speed for the construction of Noble Phantasms, is vastly increased. I'm not sure if that applies to the level, because I know Archer has to break a Noble Phantasm to essentially get them back up to their standard rank. There's a rule that says a fake can't surpass the original. True. I don't think that would apply for every single one of the Noble Phantasms, though. And if so, it might be like if he projects if Gil uses a B rank Noble Phantasm, maybe Shiro can project a B minus rank one. I think it would very much depend on the kind of Noble Phantasm as well. Because I'm not sure if I'm curious now, and I might have to look that up. So, thank you for giving me something to think about and look up. If that is the case, can't match the original. True, and you do really need to look at the more context things when they talk about them. So yeah, that might very well be the case. Concepts is very much a thing in Fate, so. The concept of a fake surpassing the original could very well be a thing that allows Unlimited Blade Works to surpass the base forms. And to be fair, Gil does have the original versions of all Noble Phantasms, which means before they actually have the legends associated with them. So it's not so even though he has the original version of it, that means he doesn't have the version that has the experience or legend behind them. Which would essentially mean that if Shiro were to see the original version of Gaybolg and then the actual Gaybolg, the projected version of Gaybolg that he's seen would be surpass the original version of Gaybolg, I think. It's a very convoluted thing. Yeah. Plus, Gil has everything. Yes, Shiro can use projections more than once, but Gil can also use more than one Noble Phantasm as once, because I believe it was specifically in the Fate Zero that he did not return the weapons he used against Caster Giles' monstrosity to the Gate of Babylon because of how soiled they were, I want to say. I want to say those weapons he never returned. He said he was not going to return them to the gate, so he can just straight up return weapons to the Gate of Babylon, I think is what it is. But we're going off on tangent here. I'm out of AP. I am not able to do the next version of the quest. And sadly, Van Gogh is not available for summoning yet. But she will be tomorrow, which is why tomorrow I will be doing a short stream where I will be rolling for Van Gogh. Hopefully, she can come home relatively easily. But that will all be tomorrow. For now, meanwhile, I have been Soul Rack Dragon. I hope that you've enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. Indeed, the legends do make the noble phantasm stronger. If you want to be sure to check out more about me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games. There's plenty of content for you to enjoy. Be sure to drop me a subscription if you did enjoy this and you're watching this on YouTube. I've already said it once at the very beginning, but I think that's going to start being a thing with me just because, you know, I've looked at the analytics and a lot of people only stick around for like the first few minutes of a recording for some reason, which is kind of saddening, but you know what? That's fine. Once again, thank you guys so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. I need to consume nourishment here because my stomach is starving and I'm starting to get hungry shakes. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.